So I think we lost Joe and Fran. Oh, yeah, we did. I love it when a show opens like this. So how is everybody this Wednesday? Here, look, I haven't done my hair, but how is everybody this Wednesday? I hope you're all doing great. Just going to kill some time. Oh, hey, Faded. Happy birthday, by the way. It's Faded's birthday. Let's see. I said, hi, Jen. Hi, John. Yep, show must go on, Ruby. So this is what I get next time. I'll fix myself up first. Let's see, Nadine, hello. Matthew, hello. Joseph. We got John, we got Jen. Well, I can see there's a lot more people on, so I hope you're all having a great Wednesday. And let's just see what's going on with Joe and Fran. Are you okay? This is what happens. Oh, hey, they're in the studio. Hey, Joe and Fran. Yay, they're in the house.
We must have touched something.
We didn't touch anything.
Oh, I thought it was all queued up, and then I thought, hey, I should just make sure you were there, and then you weren't. Okay, well, I'm going to go now, so, okay, bye.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, Shauna greeted everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for all coming on.
Yeah.
I just got to text someone here. Thomas, if you can't come up. Actually, you took it.
Yeah.
Still great lesson. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'll just message him.
Yeah, message him. Thank you all. Nice program tonight because we've got successful real life examples for all of us. And it's interesting too because the one coming on, Ken, is the one who introduced us to this whole forum and format. And now we help others introduce others too. And it's this world that we live in, the world, where everything we need is really at our fingertips. And all we have to do is engage with it. See, in the organization of the Watchtower, this thing called the world, where we all live, it's off limits, apparently. And because of that, there's so many things you don't access. And like one of them is your own personal identity and your success at working at a life that you can call your own. They say the purpose in life is to live your life, not someone else's, not the life that someone dictates to you or administers or prescribes for you, but yours, the one you come up with. And, you can come up, there's different ways that you can come up with it. And I said it before, and I've heard it before. It says, when we're in the dark, lying on our bed at night with our own thoughts, that's where we know who we are and what we are. We may not be comfortable with it for some reason or other, but see, even then, we have the opportunity to do something about it.
Okay, we've got some folks backstage.
Yep.
And we will be with you if you can hold on. We just want to do an intro and then birthdays. So when you're ready for birthday, just in relation to what you were saying, Nadine wrote, remember when they used to say, don't be worldly? Well, I would always say, but we live in the world, so we have to know what's going on in our world.
You know,
that makes sense,
you're absolutely
Nadine.
right, Nadine. See, and this is the backward cockamamie ideas that they introduced. See, it was always, for everyone, every normal human being that grew up, they always knew that having worldly wisdom is a good thing. Worldly wisdom. To be worldly wise, that's a good thing. It's a compliment. It's something to um, to achieve, to work at, to expose yourself to worldly wisdom. And if someone said, well, um, they developed a lot of worldly wisdom, that's a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Compliment.
Yeah.
Watchtower made it something bad. But then we know they lie about everything. And they do. Watchtower does lie about everything. Everything.
Everything. So, want to get into birthdays?
Please. Birthdays.
Ruby, when you're ready, if you can. Thank you. You're right on it. We appreciate Ruby helping tonight. Shauna's got some other things going, so thank you, Ruby. Okay,
Go ahead, honey.
birthdays. October 1st, Severia Garcia McCree and Keith Casarona. And you want me to do them all?
Yeah, please.
October 3rd, Yvette. October 5th, Karina Lynn. October 6th, Sarah Hughes. October 7th, Paul Garino. The 8th, Kim Allen and Casey, Debbie's granddaughter. The 9th, Star Paul. 11, Mary Hauk. 13, Michelle Cooligan Johnson. 14th, Faded in San Diego, Eva Arnold. The 15th, Dawn Behayden, and also it's not on there, but Dennis, happy birthday. 17th, Eric Kubler, Elaine from JW Escapes. 18th, Yvonne's grandson, and also born JW. 20th, Jackie Ramos. 21st, Gabby, Dinah Lost daughter. 22nd, Adrian Mully and Mona Gill. 23rd, Hetty, our daughter, and also Rita Wall Mosley, that's Wild Wall's sister. The 24th, Vern, and also Nicole Malecki, our niece. The 25th, Cheryl Murphy, Henry Julian. The 29th, Elaine from the Liberati, Derek Matthews, and Sky Graham. And the 31st, Felicia Coulter. Happy birthday, all.
We're here. We're here.
Okay, anniversaries for October. October 2nd was Joe and my 49th anniversary. And October 9th, Albin and Irene, 32 years. October 10th, Wes and Dinah Lost, and also Brian and Stephanie Carson Chase, 15 years. October 25th, Mark and Lara, our son and daughter-in-law, 22 years. And October 27th, Terry and Shannon Hamilton. Happy anniversary all. And also we've got a lot of meetups in October, so if you're near any of these areas, October 18th, 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, ExJW meetup in Port Orange, Florida. And that's going to be at the Foxtail Coffee House in Port Orange. So the information is there if you go on the website ExJWFriends. October 18th also from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We're doing this ExJW West Valley Meetup. And where's that? That's going to be in Glendale, Arizona. and it's at the Cooked Pint Ale House in Glendale. Crooked Pint Ale House, sorry. And that's on the 18th. If anyone is in the Glendale, Arizona area, check that out. October 18th also, 50th anniversary of 1975 from 7 to 10 p.m. That is going to be in, LA. The Liberati is putting that on. 7 to 10. Where is it, Ruby? I'm not seeing it.
It's set LA. It just says from the LA Meetup ExJW group.
Hosted by. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. I guess they'll have to give more information. Okay. Thank you. And then also October 25th, Halloween Harvest Festival. And that's a New York City meetup, October 25th from 2 to 5. And you can check that out if you're in the New York City area. Okay. Also, the 26th, next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, we are having a meetup at Horseheads, New York. And that is trot on over for a great time. Sunday, October 26th, starting at 12:30. It's going to be at the Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brew. And there's the address right there. Please let us know if you're coming so we can let the restaurant know how many. We need to know. So just give us a call, 315-221-0130, or text us so we can let them know. That's going to be next Sunday in Horseheads, New York, which is near Corning. And one last one, October 31st, Halloween night, ExJW Meetup in Philadelphia. So you can check that out. Just go to that website there and you'll get all the information. That's also put on by the Liberati. So quite a few meetups in October. Good time for meetups, it really is. Thank you.
Yeah. And a meetup can be anything that you choose to get together with for as many or as few people, because it allows you to share things in a way that is surprising. There's so much you really have to offer for each other, to each other.
Shaq gave a little more information on that California meetup. It's at Applebee's this Saturday in Norwalk, California. So check that out. If you need more information, let us know. We can get you in touch with Shaq. Okay. All right. Just looking through the chat here. Yep. Okay. In the new system, it will be okay to be in the world. That's what Breeboo 75 says.
I thought the world was passing away.
Yeah.
Didn't they say the world is passing away?
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure.
I know.
Of course, I wouldn't take too many things seriously that they said.
No. No. Okay, so Ken should be coming on at 7:30.
Yeah.
We're going to interview him. But the reason why we invited, hi Sparky Slag.
Hello, Sparky.
The reason why we invited Ken is because he's the first one that
Yep.
we called when we came out, because he put his phone number. He was interviewed by Wendy Renee. We watched it in 2022 when we first came out, and Ken put his phone number. So we copied it down. We called him, and he called us back because we left a message.
Yeah.
And he called us back. And we told him, all about us, why we were leaving, that we had 4 adult children that were still in, that were starting to shun us already. And he was very concerned. He would call us just about every day because he knew, number one, we were 70 years old. We weren't getting younger. And we have 4 grown children that are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were starting to shun us. So he knew how difficult that would be. And Ken was there for us. He was there every day.
And I will say that Ken, who was an elder, was very active, I would say personally active in the lives of the friends when he was in. And he played a role that I think cared for people's lives in an authentic way. And now when he's out, so much more so, he is very actively involved in community affairs, actively involved in the youth in his area. He's a bus driver, and he doesn't just drive a bus. He cares for the people, the young people, and their families in that community. Works with other uh, um, charity organizations, charity groups, civic groups, and he's always got something um, organized or part of something organized that's taking care of some social or civic need. That's the world. And see, that's the involvement in the world and the effect that it can have on other people's lives and the meaning that it can give and that it does give to our lives. Very opposite of what the Watchtower said. Very opposite. They were hiding our lives from us. And our place is to open ourselves up to that life. It's our life. It's out there. It's out here. And we're glad that you're open to it.
If we could just go back to the comments, because Sparky Slag said that Cookout will be coming home tomorrow. Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's good. He's
Yeah, we just want to give a shout out to Cookout. Cookout is Sparky's partner in not crime, but partner in some very high end abilities as a welder and fabricator and contractor. And he's, as far as I can tell, he's more than a brother, to Sparky, and they occupy a special relationship with each other. So we love both of them a lot, and we're thinking about us of a Cookout, and we know he's going to come through good.
Yeah.
He's an older guy too.
And he was never a Jehovah's Witness, and he was a hero.
No, decorated war hero
From Vietnam,
yeah.
Right? Vietnam. He was. There was a write up in the Life magazine about him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ken's coming on in 2 minutes. I know Dieter and Matthew are backstage, but if you can just be patient, we just want to interview Ken first. And also, speaking of coming out of the hospital, Celeste should be coming home soon. She had surgery, she's healing, and she's an amazing woman. We love her. And if you want to send Celeste a text or a card, I know she would appreciate it. We've got her information if you need it. She's a dear friend.
Yeah, and anyone else who's interested in coming on, just come on backstage with everyone else, and we can share some comments with each other.
While we're waiting for Ken to come on, I don't know if he can hear us, but when we contacted Ken and started to get to know him, he had a lot of people contacting him, and he had a lot of women contacting him, which he didn't mind talking to women, but he asked me if I wouldn't mind talking to them, and I said sure, I'd love to. And 2 of them and we're friends to this day, and really good friends. Celeste was one of them, and Annie, who is a regular on the program. Um, they're the first two that we contacted, and been friends ever since. So really, we would never have met them
And
if
see,
we weren't in the organization.
that was the kickoff, the lead into what we decided we wanted to do, and that is to help develop basically a directory of information for friends to connect with each other. Hello, Ken.
Hey,
How are
Ken,
you? Whoops. Volume, Ken.
you're
You're
muted.
muted.
How's that?
There you
Bingo.
go. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Sure, no problem, man.
Is Dina with you?
She is. She'll be here in a minute.
Okay, great. We just gave a little intro about how we met you, how we saw when you were on Wendy Renee and you put your number out there.
Yeah.
We called you. You called us right back.
Yeah.
You called us every day. You were worried about us.
Well, because your situation was unique, because you're getting up in years, and there's going to come a time when we're going to need help. But you guys said, you know what, we're just going to have to do it on our own, and I'm proud of y'all being able to do that. But I also wanted to reassure you that there is life on the other side, because the organization instills this fear in people that if you leave, it's all going to come to an end. Your life's going to be over with. You're going to be like that dog that returns to his vomit. And we proved that that's not true. So, and so my wife and I are just living our life, and we're having fun. And I encourage people, don't be afraid of the unknown. There is life out there. And we proved it. And the sad thing on our side, and probably yours too, is that we didn't plan for retirement, right?
Mm.
And so, but me and my wife, we were Uber witnesses. I mean, we had 38 years of regular pioneering together.
Wow.
That's insane when I think about it now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All of our vital energies in our youth were gone.
Yeah.
But
see, I have to just say, Ken, in contrast to us, see, we weren't born in the organization. We came in later. So we had a build up of something in the world. So we kind of, I guess you could say we cheated. So we really feel strongly for those that are coming out and need to be introduced to the world. And you've shown a wonderful example of the success.
Dina was pretty much raised as a witness. I came in at 22.
Okay.
Still, I was a young man. I hadn't had no retirement or nothing built up.
Right.
But I will say, at least I paid Social Security all those years. So I probably not as much as I should have. So we got a little something. But what I'm thankful for is, one, that my wife in 2010 asked me what it would take to leave. Because that thought never came across my mind. And that's only because I had an objection about the overlapping generations.
Mm.
It was just that I didn't understand it. But when she asked me that question, I said, if I turn 60 in this world, I'm done. And 2019, I turned 60. And she was a little angry at first. But with that said, the advantage of being an elder for some 22 years, I know where the skeletons are buried. And I know the dark secrets of the cover-ups. And when I mentioned about the child abuse problems, that was very close to her heart. And she said, okay, I'm done too. And when you walk off that cliff, I'm holding your hand.
That's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah,
And so the last 6 years, we just have been enjoying life. I remember the first time we were in Cleveland, Ohio, on a business trip. And we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then we walked downtown and we came across the casino. And my wife is staring inside the casino, all the lights, and everybody looks like they're having a good time. And because we never been to one, we were good witnesses. And so I said to her, I said, "You want to go in there?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, okay. I said, here's the deal. I got $50 in my left pocket. When it's gone, we're done. Is that good? She goes, sure. So for 2 hours, we were just whoop hauling, and, hooray and having fun. And we walked out with $125. So,
Huh.
Wow.
Perfect.
Great for you.
yeah, but we went 2 more times and we didn't come up with anything.
Yeah.
But some people are just prone to addictions, whether it's food, gambling, alcohol,
Could be anything.
But I learned just to put limitations on it. And that's why we went in there, but we had fun for 2 hours. I mean, today, if you're going to have fun for 2 hours, you're going to spend a lot more than $50.
It's true.
Yeah.
But here's my lovely bride just walked in. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
Dina.
Dina.
Hey, the dog was bothering people at the creek fishing. I had to go get him.
Dog.
Yeah, but she'll be with us. But
Ken, I've got to say, though, more than having fun, Ken, you do know how to fit yourself into the lives of other people so as to help make them better.
Yeah, he can be intrusive. Kidding.
Well, I will say one thing about me and Dina is that we care about other people. And I had a call Monday morning from a Spanish person that I've just met him from being a part of the chamber and everything.
Yeah.
But he wanted to meet with the mayor, him and the Catholic priest, a new Catholic priest in town, and they wanted to have some kind of a parade honoring the saint. And I will tell you, since leaving the witnesses, I'm not opposed to nobody in expressing their religious rights. I'm not opposed at all. If anything, it helps us come together as a community. So I called the mayor, and he picked up the phone, and he said, "Can you meet me Tuesday at 7:45?" So now I had this Catholic priest and my man Javier, and I told the mayor, I said, the Hispanics have been in our community for 30 years now, and most of their children are born here. They're going to be voters one day, and so we need to hear them out and what they want to do. I just said, and the mayor agreed, and so it ended by saying the mayor goes, "I'm going to do everything I can to make it possible, so that they can have that parade."
Wow.
So, there she is.
Hi, Dina.
I see her.
But Joe, you and I and Fran were having this conversation on Sunday because we were delivering a garbage truck, and
we've got a picture of it. If Ruby can show the garbage truck.
Yep.
But go ahead, Ken.
okay.
Ruby, do you have that picture?
Oh, so I was gonna let you know, Shauna was the one who was sharing her screen for that photo, and
Yep.
Shauna had to step away.
Okay,
So I don't
send
have.
it.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, send it to me on
Ruby.
Discord so I can show it.
Yep, will do.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, include what you do there when you can, Ken, with the garbage trucks.
Yeah, I'll just do this. We got 4 here at the shop to deliver.
Well,
I know. It's crazy. I hate the kind of expression, but we feel blessed.
yeah.
Just in the last couple
We've
of years.
been very busy. Very busy.
Between that and our own business, doing selling car wash and cleanup supplies to auto dealerships and cleanup shops, and me being a bus driver. So,
Wow.
but
Wow.
for the first time in our life, we feel comfortable with our income.
That's good. Yeah.
I mean, I hear about these federal workers that are laid off and they're asking for food and stuff, and it's only been like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
but we even said at least we're not going to fall apart for 4 weeks, 6 weeks without income, just because of how we've been busy these last 3 years. So
There's the picture of the
Yeah.
garbage trucks.
yeah,
So how does Dina help you? What's her job?
I got the best job ever. I get to follow behind and listen to my books on tape, and then I bring his butt back.
she's my taxi.
I'm a taxi, yeah. So I follow him down there, and I drive down there following him, and then I drive back.
Wow.
But he's really kind. If I'm too tired and not feeling well, he will get in the car and drive back for us. And he doesn't cut my pay, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Of course.
He lets me keep my share.
He
Yeah.
better. He better.
And so we get paid $275 for about a 4-hour journey.
Yep.
Total.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so to be clear, what you do, there's the garbage truck manufacturer that's a distance away from you,
Well,
and
they're actually here in town.
in town.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
excuse
makes
me.
it nice.
But
They
we
deliver all over the United States.
Oh, in town. Wow.
Yeah.
Even
So,
better.
but we just do the short runs. We'll go to Atlanta. We'll go to Nashville. Go to Birmingham.
Yeah,
Huntsville.
we'll do longer trips when school is not in session, where we have more free time, and,
Gotcha.
and we'll do that, and we'll make it a little 2-3 day thing when we do that.
Yeah.
We'll go to the place, find out what's going on. We may just have a nice dinner. We might even get a room and come back the next day. But if we go really far, we'll make a date out of it.
That's nice.
Have you ever heard of Guy Fieri of Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives?
Oh yeah.
We like to look like we went to Memphis. We looked at a place that he went to they were known for their chicken wings.
We like to look him up and find out what town we're going
sure.
to, and has he hosted the show there, and then we'll go to that place.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of times, if we mention, "Hey, we saw your restaurant in Guy Fieri on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives," and when we do that, they don't give us free food, but they'll give us little gifts like
That's nice.
chains, things like that, and they're grateful that we tell them that wherever we travel, we like to hit a place that Guy Fieri did a episode on.
So I guess we should thank the Watchtower for getting us upset at them, and that we're seeing the world and having more fun.
We get to go around. Yeah,
That's it.
Vacations are not just assemblies.
Right. That's right.
Oh, get me going.
Vacations are actually somewhere not affiliated.
There are vacations now.
We actually have time to go see the sights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you work, the only time you have off is during the conventions. You have to make time for the conventions.
And because I was so active as an elder, I was part of the committees that were there and part of the team.
Best we were able to fit in a nice meal when we did go to the conventions, but that was the extent of it. No sightseeing.
Maybe later we can just discuss later what would motivate us or whoever's in to endure that kind of deprivation, being deprived of these nice things. Why would we allow ourselves to be deprived of them and put up with that?
Later.
Why?
Well,
later. He said later.
Yeah, whenever.
No,
whenever.
Well, in a nutshell, you can't argue against everlasting life in paradise.
Okay.
I mean, so you're making sacrifices now because you're going to have a pet tiger and lion and running around barefoot in the fields
in good health.
Oh, okay. Well, if I could share something, it's like I was greedy. I was being greedy. I wanted all the things that they promised. So I was chasing promises.
Well, that's not greed. That was a promise made to you.
Yeah, but see, I didn't work for it. I wouldn't be working really for any of those things, right? Whereas, see, now you and you're working at your life, and like you said, you're being blessed for it. But yet, in that organization, see, I have to say that. See, what I'll share personally is that with 3 and 4 children that were with us, one on the way, I was looking for a constant source of involvement for my family, an easy, constant source of family involvement for my family, for the young ones. Because in my mind, it's so difficult. 4 children. I really didn't know what to do, what to expect. And to me, it seemed like it would make it easy, number one, because it was automatic, all automatic. They're there, we're there. We didn't have to schedule anything. They scheduled it. I didn't have to.
You didn't do anything. You're right.
Yeah, and all I had to do was listen, obey, and be blessed.
Sounds like a song.
Listen, obey, and be screwed. And so I look back and realize things don't come that way. In quote unquote the world where we live in reality, we have our opportunity to work at what we like and what we are strong with, and to receive whatever benefits from that. And it works. It really works. And so if a body can get over the fear of the unknown and be ready to do the work that they would like to do and experience others who are doing the same thing, they're going to find some very nice things.
Yeah. And it's not the end of the world.
No, it's a
So,
beginning.
I mean, besides what we do work-wise, we're Lion Club's members, and we enjoy that. We have 2 cleanup days a year that we clean up some streets here in the city, and we volunteer our time helping out with there's a local ministry called Mark for Life. I think of all names, but they're good people, and they want to help out and give back to the community. And so there is some compensation in that, and that you just feel good that you're doing something. But you're also making more a network of people and friends that you might need a hand sometimes, or they might need it, and it's a beautiful thing, really. And there's no strings attached. Well, you only do this if you do this. No,
Right.
not that way at all.
Yeah, it's your conditions on your condition. Yeah.
And you do what you can.
Yeah.
But there is joy and satisfaction in that. I kind of kid around with some of the people at Mark for Life. I said, well, I don't go to church, so I'm trying to get into heaven through the back door.
That's right. That's right. Oh dear.
But,
Yeah.
but
the ones that have come out have told us some positive experiences that they've encountered, and they're surprised. They're surprised, but it's really no surprise because there are other good people out there that are looking for them. Good people look for good people, and they find them. They find them.
What is one good experience you can tell us? I know you have lots, but where they're not surprised.
Well, Keith, for example, yeah, one of the friends, young.
I don't think he'd mind you mentioning
Man, well, go ahead.
Yeah, Keith from California. He's a genius musician,
really
very
gifted musician,
and he is developing an orchestra, pulling it together. He's also going to college. It'd be nice to have him on sometime.
Oh, isn't that nice? You can go to college now as a JW.
That's right. I know.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
he beat the game. He started ahead.
Yeah, he did. I think he's going to go for being a conductor. You can
he will be a conductor.
Yeah, you actually go to college for that.
This isn't just a group. This is an orchestra.
No, he's going to be very well known. He's going to travel around the country.
And the goal is to promote the kinds of things that are needed with the in society. And so, in other words, it's to help bring awareness to things that are needed. And he's getting his PhD, and he's going to do everything that's in front of him, which he could not do.
No, could not
at all if he was in that organization.
And you talk to a lot of people that leave, that they just have an empty void in their life because they don't know what to do. And so when they call me, I said, if you got children, live your life through your children. Get them signed up to play sports or cheerleading, some kind of after school activity. And you're going to meet other parents like you, and you'll be able to form friendships. So that's what I tell them. Just, the turtle wouldn't get nowhere if he didn't stick his neck out.
That's right. So
you just got to stick your neck out and just try it.
And too, what goes along with that is, you have to be guarded. You have to watch. You have to have your boundaries. That you enforce. You enforce your boundaries. You're not going according to someone else's guidance for you. It's your terms, your boundaries. So this is where, we need to protect ourselves and be honestly be concerned about the other person as well. But everything that, in every case, I mean, we've found is that if you're out for good, you're going to find good, and you're going to avoid things that aren't good. You're going to avoid them.
And you should look at a situation and know if it's legit or not, or if you're about to be taken.
Yeah.
When in doubt, don't.
Well,
Here's a question for you, Ken and Dina. Jane Spitfire, I think you kind of answered it, but how do you make worldly friends? And did you join a local church?
Well, to be honest, we've been to different churches and we just don't feel it.
Yep.
Nothing against the churches. It's just, 40 years of a regimented life.
We found friends other ways other than going to different churches.
Yeah.
Now it's by joining clubs and actually letting your guard down and meeting people.
Yeah.
And just talking to people about anything. And then it's nice when you do go to a church, you run into them.
Right.
People that you met that were non-Jehovah's Witnesses were nice. But basically getting involved with your community is because you already have something in common when you do that. And they're very receptive. They're very encouraging.
And can I say too that they might also be very respectful of your beliefs, just as you would be respectful of theirs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have no problem if someone asks me to come to their church and I'm able to do it. I'll go. I'm not apprehensive.
When I talked to some people about why I left, I had one. My hairdresser actually tells me this. Well, because I told him about how I met Ken when I was such a young age in the Jehovah's Witness religion, and we've been married for 40 plus years. And she goes, well, I look at it this way. When you were a Jehovah's Witness, God was guiding you and you met Ken. And then when you met Ken, you went on with your life. And then when your cancer happened, for instance, or this happened or that happened, that's God's hand in that. And that explains why you're not a witness anymore, how you have new friends and things like that. I find it interesting how they, despite what you went through in your life, they found encouragement in it and they see God's hand in it, like cancer. Well, maybe you got cancer that woke you up from your religion, because basically it did, the way I was treated as a regular pioneer when I came down with cancer. And so well, maybe that was God's direction and why you're not a witness anymore. And I found that to be encouraging because I don't have the answers. And those were soothing answers.
Yeah. In other words, they always put a positive spin on something that may be bad.
Yep.
Yeah. And whereas the witnesses will probably say, well, you've lost Jehovah's blessing or his guidance. Or
so much guilt.
Here's a question from
Still
Dallas.
dealing with guilt.
Okay.
Here's a question from Dallas. How much more time do you have and less expensive has it been and less stressful has it been for you all?
That was a very interesting question about how much you spend. We spend
time.
Time.
You mean financially also?
How much more time? In other words, how much more time do you have now that you're not a witness?
Oh, way more time. But wasn't there money involved in that question?
Yes, and is it less expensive?
Yes, it's less expensive. We see more. Go figure. I can't explain that. We see more and it's less expensive.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what's happened.
We spend more time together, but as for there is no guilt because we're happy and we're together.
And we enjoy. Well, we always did enjoy each other's company, but we enjoy it more because it's.
But now we don't have to feel like, oh man, well we can't go here because we got a meeting to go to tonight, or we got to go out in service. And, so that part we can sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays.
We're going to the convention, so we're gonna have to make plans for a trip another time.
It's really
which we normally didn't make.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's like quoting a friend of mine: "Free at last, free at last. God Almighty, I'm free at last."
So you're explaining this right now, but the question is: so how do you feel about now being in control of your minds, rather than Watchtower being in control of the space in your head?
Well,
how do you feel?
What I said earlier, there is no guilt.
Yeah, but it's power. to be in control of yourself. That it really, the buck stops here, right? Stops with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And so and it's nice that you can make these decisions without having to ask
Permission.
anybody
Permission.
That's true. It
Or-
takes, it doesn't
Or
it
buying
take
a
a
car,
little.
for instance. Oh, you bought a car. Is it 4-door?
Yeah. That actually happened to us. We bought
Several
a two,
times. Yeah.
and my brother goes, "You can't take that out in the
There's
ministry."
no guilt. We can go about our life, make decisions,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about what other people are thinking about us. And the other people that we worried about thinking about us we're Jehovah's Witnesses. We don't have to worry about what other people are thinking about us outside of that.
I don't know.
There was no judgment.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can make good decisions outside of
Yes,
the
you can.
organization.
We're still together.
Good decision.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, I mean, sometimes we don't make good decisions. Sometimes we just don't make good decisions.
Right.
And the reality is we get to own them. You know?
And by the time you get to our age, you kind of got all that figured out.
Nah.
Okay.
Do you got it figured out?
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's a good point, good question. But sometimes yeah. I mean, there's a lot of simplifications that you do. In other words, we don't think about some situations. We just know the right decision for it because we've been through it
Right.
so many times.
I remember back in 2017, there was a girl at Crystal that Dean and I, and there's a police officer, we'd have breakfast there every week. And then she was in a horrible accident. And so I told the police officer, I said, we got to do something. Because, you're working at a fast food restaurant, you don't have benefits and things or even insurance. And so we did a car wash. And I told, his name is David, I said, if we just do $500, I'll be happy. Because I never done anything. We did $2,200 that day.
Wow. Isn't
I
that
know.
nice?
Well, we were in the paper. I'm in the paper. I'm a full-blown witness, and I'm in the paper with this worldly police officer and Charity. And my group overseer came to me when he saw it. He goes, "What are you doing a car wash for a worldly person?
Oh, dear.
Your time could have been better spent out in the ministry that day."
Oh, I don't think so.
Wow.
And you think about it, Joe and Fran, all those hours, we spent in the field ministry. How many people actually benefited?
So what you're saying is, Watchtower does not do charity.
Oh,
No.
of course not. Only for
No.
themselves.
And so that's one huge avenue to be a part of and to really feel good about ourselves is real charity.
That
the kind that
does
you
make
personally,
you
the
feel
one that
good.
you personally want to do, not the one that you're told to do, but
That's
the
right.
one I'd like to, like you did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, by this first year helping out Mark for Life, there was a food basket giveaway.
Yeah.
And when I got home, I told Dean, I said, I saw grown women crying when I'm handing them food. And she goes, "No way." I said, "Well, you need to come." And so the next year she came and she saw that experience. And now Dean,
They're so thankful.
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
But now
Yeah.
Dean is on board. She's with all the charity that they do. We pick up food and to distribute to people. We've
I
done
was
a
on
lot.
board, just a little slower about it because I don't have really good health either. So,
Yeah, but you're doing things you thought you'd never do.
oh yeah.
For our community.
Yep.
And it's joy and satisfaction to do that. And because I've been involved with the business community for years now, now even the police department went this past November, a year ago. The police and paramedics were called to a house of a couple that were deaf. And when they came in there, they noticed they had no food in there.
Wow.
And so they called me to, "Hey, can you get them some food?" So I called Mark for Life. Within 30 minutes, we had 4 boxes full of food.
Wow.
Wow. But it's those connections that you make with people. And then the baby food that we did.
Yeah, well, that's another story. That's another day. Fran, look like you were getting ready to ask a question.
No, well, Joe was going to say something.
Well, look, so now maybe this is where there are ones out there listening, and they're not as far along into things as you are. What are some practical suggestions for them to get into it? To start
available. I mean, our Chamber of Commerce, if you're a small business owner, you should join the chamber, get to know them, because all the chambers have monthly activities.
They know what everybody's doing within the community.
Yeah.
If you want to help. Anything.
Yeah. Ribbon cuttings.
Yep.
Sometimes they have a lunch and learn, and a lot of this stuff is free.
And they can get you in touch with other communities, or not communities, other organizations that are doing things. They can tell you, because they need volunteers. They love volunteers.
Volunteering.
Volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah, look at your local newsletters and the newspaper. Sometimes a lot of it's advertised in community news.
And it's always been a positive experience. Like when we volunteered for the turkey giveaway or whatever, they'll give you a free T-shirt. Wear the T-shirt. You're fed while you're doing it. You know, so it's not just sacrifice upon sacrifice, because it's already a sacrifice on your time. But just volunteer.
I got to say this, that
and you're with other volunteers, so you all have something in common.
Yeah.
We did a backpack giveaway past July, and Dina's sister, who's an inactive witness, joined us.
Mm-hmm.
And she put on the shirt saying "Mark for Life" with a cross on it.
I love teasing her about it.
Yeah, I said, you know, if the brothers come by and see you with that shirt,
you're in trouble.
You're going to be disfellowship for giving out backpacks to kids. Isn't that silly? That's how silly.
Well, you know,
I'm being her big sister. I just teased them.
And she probably felt good just exercising her freedom.
Yeah. Well, we let her
exercising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if there's any more questions.
I guess what I would say to everybody, they are welcome. They're going to be welcomed to come into.
Yes, they would.
Doing things with other people.
Yeah.
Yes, they would.
And being a witness, you're taught to volunteer, you know, for theocratic interest, but now you can change it to help in your community. Yeah. There's so many groups out there that
there's
use
nothing
your help.
like it. There's nothing like it. I haven't had one bad experience volunteering. Everybody is grateful and thankful. And the people you're volunteering with, they're all smiles too. Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah. And it goes without saying too, it's not, we need to do more than volunteering. We probably need to, earn a living also. But see, that's where you learn contacts and get leads with other people that you would never get. You would never get them otherwise.
That's true.
You would never get them.
That's
so much
true.
information.
That was a good point.
Yeah.
And there are people who come to these charity events and business events, like with the chamber, who are looking for people to help them to, like I said, a network.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Hey, do you know anybody that could use a job doing this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I can't tell you how many times this happened to me.
Yep.
Or do you know of someone who can do it? And and generally I always know somebody that could benefit from it.
Yeah. Well, we're all convinced, and I know you are, that the world is where we live. We live, literally. That's where our life is. Our life is in the world, as opposed to the fairy tale life of that organization. That was fairy tale. It was a very unkind fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby's wondered if you want to open up the stage.
Yes, we do. Can we open up things for others, to others?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got some good things to share.
Matthew, Dieter, did you want to say something to Ken and Dina?
Hi, Ken. Hi, Dina.
Hey.
Hi.
Good to see you. It's nice to have people share good business experiences about the benefits of making associates out in the world.
Yes.
I started doing that in about 2018 when I got reproved for growing a beard, because I realized
shame on you.
Yeah. Well, I did wait until after the November Watchtower. It's just that I was in a farm community and it was deemed to be inappropriate to the local culture.
In a farm community.
Yeah. Anyway, I found it to be one of the most rewarding things in my life, because a lot of the Jehovah Witness businesses do a lot of shady illegal stuff, take advantage of
excuse me, Dieter. We got some background.
Somebody's got some noise going.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, there's the guilty one.
I'm sorry. Did you want me to repeat something or?
No, I heard you.
Okay, go ahead.
Any noise.
Thank you, Matthew.
I just it's good for everybody to know that.
Yeah.
Because, I went all in because, like you, I was pioneering much of my life, or mini pioneering as it was, for those of us who had a family and a job and a business to run. So we did what we could. But
Right.
still, it eats up a lot of your time because it pretty much cuts into any disposable income that you might have to maintain your mental health, and also what you might want to save for, us now when we're getting very, very gray.
So, dear, excuse me, dear. How about just a quick background, a bit on your background,
Oh,
just to
so,
bring Ken up to speed.
gosh.
Well, you're a
I-
contractor.
Okay. About me in
Yeah.
general. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm basically just an activist now. I was in construction my entire life, RBC, LDC, and so on and so forth. Pioneering when I could. I was even the only brother that I was aware of that was writing letters to Russia and Putin back in the day, because that was because they told us to.
That
But,
worked.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of started getting out when I got reproved and appealed to. It was unofficial because they had no grounds, and I also refused to go into the elder meeting. So I had 3 meetings with the circuit overseer, and wherein they acknowledged that I was exemplary, but they couldn't unannounce me or unreprove me, because that would be acknowledging that they made a mistake to do it in the first place. So I realized at that point, yeah, it was over, because that's just a question of time. Actually, that was just the excuse, the beard. I had also been known to I sent him to university.
Oh my God, that's a great.
Yes, yeah, he
that really got you in big trouble, didn't it?
yeah, well, that, and also I decided, because when I had my son, I decided I had to quit college because I was in engineering school for microprocessors and telecom back around 90. And then we had my son, and you can't go to college and go to Tuesday night meetings and Thursday meetings and Sunday meetings and Saturday service. So I had to quit, and I decided, okay, when my kid comes along, we're not going to do that. It backfired.
Good
My
for
son is
you.
still in the truth, but anyway, there was that. And also another awful thing I did was a sister who was disfellowshipped because she had gotten into a relationship, non-sexual, but it was talked about, with a young man who was related to 3 or 4 elders. He was privately reproved. She was disfellowshipped. She came back a couple years later with a husband in tow who joined the congregation, but you know how that goes. You're supposed to shun them for a year and make them feel bad and well, the second I saw them, I came up and I gave them all a hug and I welcomed. And they got upset about that because then everybody else had to, be a jerk, or and it would be known, or they have to. So I was demonstrating very, very poor, what do you call it, independent thinking. So, but after that, I've just my wife and son got we got more and more estranged because I was close with Mike Pinkava, the elder who covered up 12 plus years of child molesting. And we changed the laws here in Illinois on sexual predator reporting because when he was in court, he said that he was never informed of what child reporting laws were or anything like that, even though he was a teacher of 35 years at a public elementary school.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, I was very upset about that because I discovered it when he was giving the eulogy for his daughter who had just been murdered by the hospital liaison committee. She had had some kind of, they say, autoimmune disease. And of course, there were treatments, but they were various kinds of blood treatments. And, there was no whole blood. It was all blood fractions and a conscience matter. But her father, being Mike Pinkava, was extremely hypocritical. And, well, he needed a distraction. because he was being prosecuted for this child molesting thing. So basically, she was forced to commit suicide so that he could look all holy and righteous and everybody would feel sorry for him. And then about a few months after that, the conviction came up. The thing that upset me the most was after he was convicted, we had about a week until sentencing. I remember a prayer that was given at his home congregation. I was not there, but it was related to me by those who were in attendance, by an elder by the name of Wes Stern, who was a convicted bank robber, armed robbery, but now an elder. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, from the 70s. Yeah, we had a convicted armed bank robber elder, and he was having the congregation pray for the protection of Mike Pinkava from the persecution of worldly cores, yada, yada. And anyway, I flipped out.
Armed bank robbery.
So yeah, that kind of did it for me, because my wife was used to live with Mike Pinkava, who was probably the most notorious Jehovah's Witness in the world right now, as far as, you know, those who have gotten away with it. So, but anyway, he got, the prosecutor asked for a year, and the judge went in the back with some lawyers. None of the prosecution or the opposing counsel was present, and they set aside the 1 year conviction. They disallowed the Illinois Department Child Family Services from testifying that this young girl had been raped and trafficked over 300 times. And I actually have the judge's handwritten note that he made in chambers to just sweep it all away. And yeah, I'm going to be publishing that in a lawsuit that I'm going to be presenting soon. But the thing that really got me the most was the fact that because I study law, and the reason they did that is because this would have provoked a federal investigation, which is extremely important, because the federal investigation is something that we do not have in the United States yet. And if there ever was a federal investigation, that would activate something called Sarbanes-Oxley, which is labor laws, or rather protection of Bethelites who have been injured and tossed aside, and protections for anybody who was a witness, because technically we are all publisher membership, which is we are employees of the Watchtower. And if we became whistleblowers, like quite a few have been, under the law of Sarbanes-Oxley, if you report to federal authorities that are in an actual investigation about a former employer, you cannot be sued. There is no reprisal. Which would solve a lot of problems for us right now, because I believe there's about 80 lawsuits that are going on against different brothers and sisters across the country. So anyway, thank you very much for that Sarbanes-Oxley thing. So that's pretty much my background, what I'm working on right now, but also because as a personal nature, my family, my son, who was my business partner, emptied my accounts, and my wife accused me of mental abuse and stuff like that. And there was a lot of violence. And basically my family started shunning me in my own home it started around 22, but it became like full blown by January of 23. And sleep deprivation, the whole 9 yards. I was basically made homeless and destitute after, living my whole life building a business. My son took my company, and was hoping that I would just crawl into a gutter and die, but I don't know how to do that. So,
Dieter, that an active witness listening to you with these accusations would think that you're making it all up.
Oh no, I'm going to be putting it online, because this is a lawsuit that I'm going to be.
But my point is, I want to tell you, there were 2 times when I knew of a publisher that was injured. One at a convention where she broke her leg, and another one at the parking lot of the Kingdom Hall. And each time when you called the branch, because they tell you that they insure you, but they put pressures on the families to pay the bills. I mean, we knew on the woman that fell at the convention, broke her leg, she had no insurance, and she was given a bill for $12,000 from the hospital. And we actually talked to her disfellowship son, who was coming to meetings trying to get reinstated. And we said, you know you're trying to get reinstated, and this would be a good way to show good faith support the organization by paying for your mom's medical bills.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually far worse than that. Another thing why my family turned on me, there were two reasons. One was I had a friend who, when I got married in the mid 80s, he went to Bethel. And at less than a year, he came home a vegetable because from being poisoned by methylene chloride. He has been mentally incompetent and a burden on the family and congregation. And I found out about that when I moved back into town a few years ago, and I went ballistic. I looked up the laws, and once again, it was tied to Sarbanes-Oxley because of the way that they've structured the nonprofit. They are not on the hook for anything.
How did they become exposed to it?
Oh, I went to visit Bethel, and I have a lot of experience with institutional chemistry and solvents and stuff and the trades that I work in. But you know those big vats where they had ink and other things? These are very, very particular. When they mix the different inks, which are all custom, they're generally coming out of, different things that they got to combine to make the right colors and stuff. And they do in these large vats that are big enough for you to crawl in.
Oh, no.
In between the processes and in between the changing of print runs and such, when they got to refill all this stuff because they got to mix it in very precise quantities, they have to.
Why would they crawl into a vat with chemicals in it?
No. It was okay. The inks and such are in these large vats.
Right, but it's still residue.
When it's over,
yeah,
the vats need to be clean. They're stainless steel. So they give them methylene chloride and rags or steel wool, and they crawl in there and they got to scrub it by hand. And you know how PPE, what's that? You're a Bethelite,
personal protection equipment.
Yeah. So that's he's been a vegetable, and he's still living here. His family lost his house. That's their house. His younger sister got divorced because she had to take care of him. So all kinds of hardship. They had to move to a poor part of town. I'm still trying to, get something for them. And I could give you more stuff because I've been in the organization in this area for a very long time. But the one thing that did the worst was I found out about the mandatory payments for that slush fund, the maintenance fund, the Kingdom Hall Maintenance Fund. Mm-hmm. And I also spent 4 years as a public insurance adjuster, and I'm very familiar with contract law because that's what I do. And I realized what they were doing. So I was going to go and make a motion at the annual meeting in, I think, April of 23 to show the congregation exactly what it is that we are agreeing to. So my ex-wife basically took the car and went to visit her girlfriend, not the Kingdom Hall, but to frustrate that. They made it very, very plain. They wrote me even letters on it that I was bringing shame on the family, and this is why they were doing it. So as everybody knows that there's a lot of dirt going on, and you have a general, and not a lot of people can prove it because it's just circumstantial evidence. But I know what I'm looking at, and it's worse. It's far worse than anybody suspects.
Well, a lot of charities are exempt from that stuff because I remember being at RBC and a woman was up on a ladder. Mm-hmm. Who shouldn't have been up there. She was overweight and she fell and broke her arm. And of course, the paramedics were called. And then the chief of the fire department from Atlanta says if we were a commercial site, he could shut us down.
Yeah.
Because we are a charity and volunteers, he could not. He said, but he stopped the operation and gave us all a safety talk.
If anyone's following what's in the news now with France, a lot of this is being dealt with now. With charity status and the abuses that are taking place in it.
Yeah. In my particular lawsuit, I'm following street gang code. It's the same code that they use against Al-Qaeda. In Illinois, it's called the Illinois Omnibus Street Gang Terrorist Act or something like that. Because religions, as everybody is familiar with since 9/11, have been using that guise to raise money for Hamas, Al-Qaeda, or whatever. I can't keep track of all these different organizations. However, the Watchtower is actually no different. The only difference is really a subtle one. that they don't use violence. Instead, they use lawyers. So anyway.
Well, now, I mean, they're coming out with this notion of psychological violence.
Yes, yes. And I think that is a good thing because it's something that the Nazis used,
Yeah.
Terrorism is violence.
Yeah.
It's probably far more effective than physical violence,
Yeah.
because terrorism tends to make people run and hide. But, outright violence, people start defending themselves.
What's so encouraging is that the Watchtower knows what they're doing, and they've done it with weasel language that people basically couldn't put a finger on. But now, slow but sure, the language is being articulated so that people can understand the badness of it.
Yes,
and now it's catching up to them just because the words are fitting their crime. And now people know how to express it now. It's really valuable what's happening.
My favorite is in the Australian Commission. I forget what his name was. That brother, when he was asked a question about
Jeffrey Jackson.
Yes, and he was asked a very specific question about whether they God talked to him or they're whatever.
Yeah.
And he made the reply that would be presumptuous of us. And I'm like, yeah, you're presumptuous. You just admitted that, which technically is true. They just admitted because they're presumptuous by their own definition.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the Australian Commission did not recognize that as an admission, which I think we need to change that because, like you said, they use tricky language. This,
this parallels. This is like, I can't help it. They use word magic.
Yes,
it's just like a magician. Who would be doing all these tricks, and people are amazed by, wow, look at that. Wow, that's magic.
It's actually very old. It
goes way back.
Abracadabra.
And then you find out, oh no, wait a minute, that's not magic here. This is how he does it. And everybody now they see. And the same thing's happening now with everything that the Watchtower has done. People have words to explain it now. And they're realizing just how egregious they are as an organization.
Yeah. But I did have one question for Ken. I hope that was enough background that you.
That's plenty.
Okay. Doing good, Dieter.
When did you leave the organization, Ken? When was the last time you were at an elders meeting?
Okay. I would say that. Okay, around 2017 is when I started really waking up, because I was getting close to 60. That was my year. So 2019, we just stopped going to meetings. Now they invited us to come back. We went inactive, and I remember when COVID broke out, my group overseer called me and says, "Hey, Kenny," he said, "It's beginning. Armageddon is here. It's starting right now."
Right now.
And I said, Dan, the flu of 1918 killed some 20 million people. COVID's only killed about 500,000. I said, when it gets up to 20 million, I'll consider it.
So when was the last meeting you attended?
So it was in 2019.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering because I'm trying to get find elders who have actually had access to some of the property transfer documents and stuff that's been going on, because they've been liquidating a lot of kingdom halls.
Yeah. I will tell you, and I told this experience before, in 2015, I was taking care of the accounts. And that's when we actually had an assembly hall that we were contributing for in Atlanta. They wanted $10 million to build it. We got up to $8 million, and we already had bought 100 acres of prime land in Atlanta. And then it come out, they said, hey, guys, don't worry about that other $2 million. We're going to take care of it for you. And we'll get anybody that has a mortgage on a Kingdom Hall. We got it covered for you. We're going to take over your Kingdom Halls. And so everybody.
So basically, what you're telling me is they forced the circuit to put up everybody's Kingdom Hall as collateral, like a second mortgage.
Well, see what it was. Each Kingdom Hall had a board of trustees. I was on the board, 3 elders. And
right. As the service committee?
Huh?
Was it the service committee as the trustees?
As a general rule, yes. And so basically any legal documentation had to be done, like taxes or income revenue breaks or whatever. The trustees would sign off on it. If you needed a loan, we'd actually go to our local bank and get a loan, and the trustees would sign off on it. But all that came to an end. The Watchtower Society was made more or less the trustee of the organization of the Kingdom Hall. So the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses are the trustees of every Kingdom Hall now. So they took the power out of the elders.
Well, slow down. Hang on. I just want to be really clear on the language you said. So the trustees are actually a slightly different organization than the congregation franchise itself.
Well, it's an extension of the congregation because these
Separate
were
officers or just shared officers?
That term was not used. You're just a trustee. Like, for example, well, you are, I guess, serving in the interest of the congregation as a trustee. The decisions you make is based on your understanding of the congregation. But, you'd always ask, well, when we got a loan back in the early 2000s, the congregation had to approve it. You did a motion and show of hands,
Yes.
But the trustees would be the one that would sign off on that loan as a representative of the congregation.
Okay.
In legal matters.
Okay.
But that was done away with by the branch.
What do you know what the process is now? And the only reason I'm asking this, and I just want, before you ask, I just want to make this clear so you can know what I'm questioning.
Yeah.
Because about a month ago when I was here, Joe was very, very concerned because he knows elders on the inside still. And he I was trying to express what the legal jeopardy is, because as things are structured now, as I understand them, I am trying to get more information on this. And this is not going to surprise anybody, but the way things are being structured or restructured, as it were, pushes a lot of the criminal liability that we're starting to discover onto the local elders, who are men unlettered and ordinary, have no idea what civil liabilities are. So I'm trying to gather as much information to find out exactly what buttons that's going to push, because I think elders will start changing their mind when they find out that they're on the hook for
take the fall.
Possible criminal charges.
Yeah. I remember going to Kingdom Ministry School, and they would tell us as elders that each one of us has protection up to $1 million from the society, as long as we do it their way. If we do things to script, then we're protected. But with that said, now that they see, because the appointments of elders and ministerial servants used to come from the branch, but now it's the circuit overseer and the local body of elders. So that takes a liability away from the organization, because they can say, we didn't appoint that guy, those guys did. Now it's back on the local congregation. And that's a way of getting out of lawsuits. But on the financial end of it, they just overtook it, because I remember one time we wanted to install security cameras, and they were like, well, if you all want to do it, you pay for it. But you still have to get permission from that. You can't do anything over, like, if it's over like $300, you have to get permission from the branch.
Yeah. I think it was even worse than that. The last LDC project I worked on was, I don't know if you worked on any in the last.
We did a little bit when it first started.
Okay. Well, when I did my last project around 2018, they had a new arrangement where they had 3 couples of project managers assigned to each hall. None of these 3 couples had any experience whatsoever in actual construction.
Yeah, that's what it was like in our situation too.
Yeah, and they just messed things up. They wouldn't. Yeah.
It's
because they're probably pioneers. And,
yes.
Yeah, it's not. It's who you know.
Right. Well, they weren't even good pioneers, because we were pioneers, and the joy of pioneering was the field service and the reward of seeing people's eyes light up when you give them a bit of hope. Even if it was false hope, it was a good feeling, but
sure.
This was the kind of pioneers that sat in the car and would drive from one end of town to the other, and make it a half hour between calls to pad their time. And that's the kind of people we were dealing with there. So
I will tell you, back on the financial side, that assembly hall that we had $8 million saved up for back in 2017. So a couple years went by, and I went to the secretary. I said, whatever happened to that assembly hall we're supposed to have built? And he go because he was on the LDC committee. He said the branch decided we didn't need it. So in my mind, I'm going, our $8 million is gone. And then I go, what about the land? 100 acres in Atlanta. He goes, oh, they sold that. So nobody really thought about our question except for me. I'm sure there was a few others, but like the Friends was just like, isn't it such a loving arrangement now? We don't have to be burdened with paying all these bills now. But like you said earlier, yeah, in Rome, Georgia, which is right close to us, they had 2 kingdom halls, 4 congregations. Well, they just took one of them and says, hey, all 4 of you can go to the same hall. We're going to better utilize these kingdom halls.
Okay. There's something else that I wanted to put to you, being that you've told me that, because this is something that I have, I decided to do in response to what Joe and Fran brought up earlier about the French and how they're taking the lead. If you read on what Milieu is attempting, they are asking for forms, for affidavits from the French nationals who want to, say something this way or that, for or against, regarding, whether or not Jehovah's Witnesses will be continued to. But anyway, most people aren't aware of this, but under law, an affidavit unrefuted is fact, okay, and is admissible in court. And this is important because I believe we collectively have immense amounts of information, and if we could put forth affidavits, for instance, the information that you gave me with enough dates and times and such, that could be used and submitted. I mean, if we get like thousands or several thousands of these individual testimonies in the form of affidavit, they can be presented to the government just the same way that they are asking for it in France. But they will not tell us to do here in the United States because they don't want to give us any clues on how to overturn this on account of the strength of the Watchtower now.
But when it came to giving them total control of the kingdom halls and assembly halls, resolutions was passed in every congregation, and the members signed off on it. So I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
Well, actually, there is. And here's the reason why. According to pretty much all the laws on, what do they call it, civil liability, before any kind of membership votes on any issues, they have to be fully informed if there's a financial matter. If there is deception involved on the part of anybody, and that is determined by who has been told, has voted on this without proper information, then that is a legal cause of action.
Dieter,
it's called undue influence.
I'm going to just say this. Apparently, you're personally affected by it and upset about it.
Well, it's continuing. I look at these abuses, and I know I get it. It's dismantleable.
But I think, first of all, the local Friends don't care because they hear good things from the platform. And I think those of us that are left are trying to move on. And I'll even hear people say, like my brother-in-law, he said, I don't want to hear nothing about JWs, Washington, don't even bring it up.
Which is aggravating.
Well,
you want somebody to talk to. It's aggravating.
And so I guess we're not the majority of those that leave. The majority just leave and move on. I don't want to talk about it. It's done.
Okay.
And so I don't know. And me personally,
we don't feel that way.
We don't. I mean, it's wrong. What you're saying is true, and it's wrong. But the majority don't care.
Oh, I agree. But we have to do something, because it's just like like they say, we are governed as well as we deserve. And the second we turn our back on it and let things run over us,
I would rather be more concerned about the child abuse situations, because we've dealt with that, and Joe and Fran and I, we had some discussions about some people that will call me or them, and even I went to local police to file a report about 4 cases I was on, but the reply was, well, the parents never came forward, the victims who are adults now never came forward. We cannot have a case where people won't cooperate.
Yeah. Well, that's actually part of the reason why it's so important, because it is directly linked to the child abuse. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is that the elders rubber stamp all this stuff and lie to the congregation because they are legally culpable. They filled out those forms. They've sent them into society. They are literally being blackmailed. So if that does get to be put forward and to evidence, that is considered a cause of action and motive for, this perpetration.
But I get it. But it depends on the state now. The reason why they feel that way, see, like here in Alabama, when you call the branch, say, "Hey, man, I got this guy that molested this girl," and they go, "Well, your state is a non-reporting state," and you go, "What does that mean?" Well, you as a member of the clergy or an elder, you have that privilege of like an attorney-client privilege, where you don't have to go forward to the police. And as an elder, you go, "Man, thank God I don't have to go report it. I don't want to deal with that mess." Right. But it's like that in 35 states.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, but I'm pursuing this to try and make it a federal thing.
We got to get these victims.
That's my motivation.
We got to get these victims to report it and their parents to report it.
Yeah.
That's where we have to come from.
So Ken, and that's why Joe and I, we make people aware of it. We make the public aware of it, because that's where the most voice is going to be.
And see, and this is where, if you think, and I'm sure you realize this, there are pedophiles listening right now and who are active in the congregation right now, who know that really they have the upper hand. They know it. They know they have the upper hand because they know there's a lack of reaction, a lack of response, a lack of consequences. They direct the shots. They do, and they know it, and the elders know it.
Yeah. Well, these families and these victims, they have a conflict because they're told that they are God's chosen people. You're the only ones that are going to survive. And, this bad thing happened, but it's going to be taken care of in the new world. Jehovah will deal with it. And so there's that conflict. I want everlasting life. Do we go back to that again? I want to live in these nice conditions.
Yeah.
And if I go against them, I'm going to lose all.
Yeah.
You can't argue facts and figures with everlasting life.
I've hit on such good stuff, and I appreciate it. Matthew, anything to add, or anyone else?
Yeah, I didn't want to take up so much time. I really got going.
No, thank you.
Matthew, go ahead if you want to talk.
This is all valuable.
No, please.
It's all valuable.
Dieter and Ken and Mayor, I think all your combined efforts, very, very valuable. I think each approach and each one's perspective and energies and boundaries, knowing what your limit is as well. It's all adding up. And like Fran and Joe have said, the powerful thing is the awareness. It's
and it is building. It is building. It really is building. It is building.
So these kind of discussions, the more it's happening and the more we kind of dignify each other just to listen to this and get it out there. And Dieter going into all of the legal details that burns my brain. I mean,
everyone is doing something so special and so individual, and that's what gets it done. And that's really valuable.
Yeah. And there's another thing that's happening as well. AI is sucking it all in.
Yeah, arrested by an AI agent.
Well, what we're finding too, this is interesting. There are so many anti-Jehovah's Witness, anti-Watchtower AI presented videos now. Yeah. There's so many. Somebody's picked up on that. Whoever's putting that forth, I don't know. But the point is, it's being exposed more and more to more of I think in a more general public way. That's what it seems. I think that's a good thing. In other words, it's not just a witness speaking it. It's a person presenting it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm
Thank you.
What I was asking you earlier, Ken, I was not trying to put anybody on the spot, but I am putting it out there. I think that everybody who does know something, even if it's a little bit like what you said, just a few little bits of how the organization operated, the money amounts, the dates that were involved, and what happened to the property and money. just to be able to have an affidavit from someone who was there to put it on record. If we get a lot of them, then it becomes a real thing that they can't deny. But but anyway, anybody who is about my attitude, I'm still a pioneer. I started doing that when I was young. I never gave it up. I had to take a break because I raised a family, and then all these other things. But I can't let it go. And it's the only thing that makes me feel good anymore.
You're a good man, Dieter.
Oh, thanks.
You're appreciated.
Dieter, so the theme is about worldly success. So you had a success, you had a successful business, and then your son took over, and then your wife left, and you were homeless. So how did you pick up from that point? Because so many that leave, they end up, having their bank account drained, being homeless. What could you tell someone that's in that situation right now?
I would definitely say to you, there's only two things that the elders will not prosecute: child molesters and attempted suicide. So don't give them that satisfaction of doing the things that they value the most. You are your own God. Any words that you may have thought you said to Jehovah, you were just convincing yourself. If it made a positive effect on you, affirmations are powerful things. And as Joe was talking about earlier, about the language they use, it's an ancient thing, thousands of years old. It's called abracadabra. Yeah. You can persuade yourself to do great things. They say, if you've decided, or if you think you've won, then you already have, before you even start. But if you think you've lost before you begin to fight, then you'll find a way to do it. So, and really that's all it comes down to, knowing that, you're on the right path. You've made this sacrifice. In my case, I started making alternate connections about the time I got reproved. So I started developing, I had some good business contacts and a good reputation. So I traded on that. People knew me, and, it always pays to be excellent at the work that you do, and to be well known as someone who is reliable. And really that's what did it for me. I found I got a couple $1,000 loan from an uncle who was not a witness. I have great credit, so I got a work vehicle, and then I rented a room and started picking up. I still had a few commercial clients because I did a lot of work during COVID. In fact, I had almost nothing when I decided we were living in subsidized housing, putting the kingdom first in 2018. And at that point, I said, okay, I got to put it in gear. And by the time COVID rolled around, I made enough money during 2 or 3 years. I bought a house and bought a bunch of crypto, and I was doing really good. So it's the most important thing is to just don't give up. Mm-hmm. And make yourself available. And the most important thing, and I think you had touched on it already, is to realize that friends with the world is a great thing.
It is.
They are great people. I mean, we were told, oh, it's so bad in the world. They're all child molesters. And, and it's like, no, it's not like that. It's way better out there. There's nowhere near as much child molesting or fraud or anything else out. And
they're willing to help you.
Yes.
In any area of your life, these people that became we're not even friends yet.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. I would say if there's one
willing
thing
to help.
Yes, don't be afraid to ask for help.
In fact, the biggest realization is there are more people like us that would want to connect with us because they need the same kind of support that we need. See, the society doesn't want people to know that.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. If they can monopolize the support and deny you that support, they can control us. Yeah. And, that's why everybody here is an apostate, because we don't need their support. You dangerous people with independent thinking ability. Jehovah's going to punish you all.
And I would tell you, in my case, when I began studying, I had to cut off people. And my one friend I grew up with, I had to tell him, say, listen, I can't hang with you no more. And so he hugged me and says, I love you like a brother. And if you ever leave this Jehovah thing, look me up. It's almost 40 years later, I looked him up and found him in Tampa, Florida, and gave him a call and told him, I said, I'm leaving.
They're best friends again.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean,
So helpful.
Wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No grudges.
Almost 40 years, man.
Judgment.
I called him
Yeah.
and he goes, so when you gonna come see me? And I said, well, we
Yeah.
got to go visit our in-laws. And he said, well, plan on staying with me a couple of days. And we did. And now he bought some land from me and he's going to build a house right next to us. But like Dina said, the guy's a jack of all trades. And he went to Florida State University to be an airline mechanic. So he knows everything about engines. And he comes there. My tractor hasn't ran in 3 years. He has it going in 5 minutes.
Wow.
So he's the kind of friend you want. And but
Everybody needs
They
one.
never skipped a beat. It was amazing.
yeah.
And that's where
person.
and that's where literally the world has everything in it that we need. And we have what they need. We do.
Talk about being
And-
forgiving. My God, 40 years and he forgives me.
Yeah.
You know, witnesses hold grudges forever.
See, that's the point. We need each. That's the point. We know we need each other. People in the world, they know they don't have enough friends. They need friends. We are friends.
Yeah. Well,
we
you know,
really,
like you said, Jehovah wants to destroy the world because Jehovah doesn't want the world to help us and help people escape.
yeah.
Ken, Mayor, I tell you what, there's a couple of standout things that I'm taking home with me from this. One is that when you had folks that were in distress, Fran and Joe, you were the shepherds that weren't available.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
That's the important standout thing. Were you under a compulsion? Did you have to report that?
No.
Or that was your humanity that was coming out? You know, that was able to authentically assert itself and see the need and come in. And the second thing that is the takeaway is it Mayo? Have I got your name right, Mayo?
Yeah.
Mayo? Is your volunteer service. Why are you volunteering? Why are you doing that? You know, so you're making yourself available to community in an authentic way that doesn't go on a report card. You know, it's just for the sheer humanity and love of people. And I think that is so very, very valuable. So
Thank you,
that's what I've taken home today. So thank you.
Yeah.
And my purpose for being here, because I tell people I have better things to do, like everyone here does. My purpose is I come here to be inspired, and I am. I am inspired by everybody in all different ways because we all have something different to offer. I would never be able to see this in that organization. We needed to be free to express that in order to share it. And I'm so very thankful for that and for everyone here.
I have a question. I'm not in chat because I didn't sign up on the to this service. But someone's talking about 6 screens.
Oh, yeah.
Rick Farron.
Yeah. 6
Yeah.
screens of the Watchtower. It's the brother who was Rick Farron. Is 6 screens of the Watchtower. The reason it's called 6 screens because I think he actually has 6 different computer screens that he's controlling at one time to try and pull it all off. So they called it 6 screens of the Watchtower. But for 20 some odd years, he's been doing this. He hasn't missed 1 week.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday. He hasn't. He's
77.
77.
I think.
And people from all over the world call in, and he's done a remarkable job. He calls the area he's in the apostate capital of the world.
There's the link. Ruby just set it up.
Yeah.
But someone was saying that you should have a show on his program. He'll, you know, Joe and I had a show on his program, and he does a call in just like we do here. But it's every Saturday night.
Yeah, do look them up, Dieter.
I will do that. I will.
Oops.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna have to get going.
Yes.
Ken and Dina, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Gotta
for
get up and
joining
drive a
us.
It's
school
nice
bus.
to meet you all.
Thank
Likewise,
you.
and then
Peter
you've
and
brought a real positive energy by telling us your story. Thank you very, very much. It's a real honor to meet you.
Well, Joe and Fran twisted my arm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Fran, what?
Twisted my arm.
Nah.
That's right.
No, we love them very much. We'd do anything for them.
We have met Ken and Dina several times. We drove down to Alabama. We've met them in Georgia.
Yeah.
And every time we get together, we have a great time,
Yes,
right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
along with
We even brought along
Sparky.
a friend. One of the times that we met, we brought a non-witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a good
She
time.
was inspired by what you did, and she signed your book and said that you guys are doing a good work and keep it
Yes,
up.
she did.
And
Yes,
that's
she
just what she noticed, just coming along with us.
We could keep doing this all night. But
Yeah, we
anyways,
could.
Yeah, you got to go to bed.
Love you
Love
guys.
you.
Love you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Have a nice
Bye.
day tomorrow. So I did get in touch with Keith. So Keith said he would come on shortly.
And Dallas is here, and anyone else too
Hi,
that wants
Dallas.
to jump in.
Howdy, Dallas.
You're muted.
Yeah,
There you go.
I didn't. I was late with Ken and
Dina.
I so sorry being late meeting them.
Oh well.
That's okay. Oh, here's Gail. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Wow.
Oh dear. Hi, sorry, I'm having trouble. Hold it.
Oh,
we
you're
can
doing
hear
good.
you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can't see you. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
But
we
just
can
go on
see
your
you.
video.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? I don't
Yeah.
know what the heck
We can
happened.
see and hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I have a story to talk about to everybody tonight. It's a very sad story. It has a lot to do with sexual abuse. It has to do with family dynamics. It has to do with a pedophilia. It has to do with death. Today, I had a phone call from a very dear friend of mine. She's an active JW. I would lay my life down for this person. She's on the fence. She listens to everything I have to say, but she's afraid to leave because her husband's a ministerial servant. Well, anyway, one of the sisters that was at the hall I was attending, her granddaughter got killed in a motorcycle accident.
Oh no!
wow, so
Oh,
sorry.
the story gets worse. Her granddaughter's mother has been disfellowshipped. And I loved this girl. She, because of my background, she was beaten and raped by a guy in the world. And I knew that. And I talked to her father, who was elder, and he was also a pedophile. I spoke to him and I told him that I knew already without him even having to tell me that what happened. So he said, Gail's the only one I'm going to let talk to my daughter. So I worked with Jessica and I referred her to the rape crisis hotline. Well, anyway, she married a state policeman, but they're now divorced. She got disfellowshipped and she's experienced a lot of mental illness because no one helped her deal with what happened to her. She got disfellowshipped. Her dad's a pedophile. He passed away, by the way. Now Brenda called me up hysterical because she trusts me immensely. She sent a bouquet of flowers to the grandmother, and the grandmother called her up, yelling at her. And you know what she said to her? My daughter's disfellowship. What made you bring me flowers? And I'm saying, how cruel and rotten is that? You were consoling her because her only granddaughter got killed in a motorcycle accident. And she called you up, and the other person who sent her flowers, that because her daughter was disfellowship, you had no business.
Excuse me, Gail, just for clarification. So the grandmother is still a witness?
Yes. And her daughter's still disfellowshipped.
The daughter disfellowshipped, and the granddaughter was killed.
Yes.
And so she got upset.
Yes.
So she got upset because they sent flowers to the Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
They didn't know where Jessica lived, so they sent
Right.
flowers to the mother instead. So she flipped out and let them. I'm saying to myself, if you really think, I said, just stop and think about this, Brenda. Do you really think this is a loving organization? This poor girl was never helped. She obviously has mental illness. Now she lost her only child. She's just fellowshipped. And this is how they're behaving. I'm telling you, I was so outraged. I actually bought a card for the grandmother because I love her daughter, Jessica. And I'm trying to get Jessica's address because I want to reach out to Jessica.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And tell her that she's not alone. Then I'm going to invite her to the to our group, because that poor girl has no support now. Imagine losing your only child. You're just fellowshipped, and your husband and you are divorced, and no one's talking to you.
Oh, God.
At the worst time of someone's life. So I just wanted to share how horrible this organization still
It
is.
is terrible. It's so bad. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to look her up on Facebook?
No, but I'm going to do that later because I have to look up something else for somebody else. But I wanted to tell you, my daughter Heather was going to call in from jail, but I think she's being a little. I think she's been a little nervous. She was supposed to call me a half hour ago. She wanted to join the show tonight, and you know, I'm telling you, the JWs are studying, and they go to the different prisons and study. So they started a study with my daughter. So I talked with my daughter about it, and I said, you know, Heather, you better think about this. For your dad, is an active witness. He abused you, but she said they were very loving and kind to her. They listened to her. They told her that they were now mandated. They wanted to go after her father, but I don't believe them. But Heather was going to join us, but I think she's being a little gun shy. But she's still.
That would be nice when she does. And if she's listening, hi, Heather.
You're welcome.
Anytime, you are welcome.
You're welcome here.
Yeah.
I think she might be listening on because they give them iPads to call out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, Heather.
And if you're glad to listen, I'm glad. Just
thank
keep
you.
listening. Yeah.
And Linda, a pasta babe.
Hi, Linda.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to join you guys. This is some good conversation happening here.
Yeah.
And so, Dieter, am I saying your name right? I met you last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I was calling you Diet the whole time. Sorry. So, okay. So I've also seen you get on a show from Six Screens platform, and you spoke with Ann Carson, Melissa Ann Carson. Is that her name, Melissa?
I was on Six Screens.
Stephanie, you're not talking about
Stephanie. Thank you. Yes, I'm dyslexic.
No, Dieter.
Stephanie.
No, Dieter was never with Stephanie.
Right. I think you're
I recall Stephanie looking at him and saying, I recognize that flag.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's what it is. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the correction. Okay, so
I am not.
You're right. I stand. Sorry. Erase. I do not get my men mixed up. Okay, you are Uncle Joe. But Dieter, this is the thing I want to suggest to you: is she is somebody to be in touch with this journey that you're talking about. Legal. Okay, she's working with some lawyers, and she's, has that same kind of passion that I hear in you, and wanting to put things together to hold the org accountable for certain things and the atrocities that we've watched. We need people such as yourself and her that pinpoint things, recognize the deception and that hop, skip, and a jump that they do to avoid accountability, and then blame it on local elders and throw them under the bus in court. And you was talking earlier about, unfortunately, the situation you went through with your wife and son. I don't know if she's your previous wife, but what I do know is if you, like what you said was you brought this situation to the congregation. I'm assuming that's like to the elders and saying, this is what's going on, and it might not be in our best interest, kind of thing, correct?
I tried to speak about it to the elders. they basically, well, you know how elders do their thing. They just change the subject. You don't have proper understanding, and it all kind of just goes away. You know, it was never said if we don't acknowledge it. You know, unless you can get two witnesses to acknowledge something was said, it never happened. So, yeah, I there was nothing there, and the few elders that I spoke with just decided that they're not talking with him anymore because, you know, I'm hurting their conscience or something. I don't know. But,
yeah, if the elders catch wind that you're possibly causing dissension or any kind of inappropriate behavior, they begin to intertwine themselves within one's marriage and encourage the one that's more of a believer without doubt to leave someone such as yourself.
Oh, absolutely, they did. My wife
Then-
even wrote about it in a letter to me. And
Okay.
if you recall, the Watchtower even has a name for that policy. It's called Corbin, how to defraud older folks who are, you know, and yeah. Well, in my case, it was really good because I got my divorce letters right after I got a letter from my wife and son after
Sister Willow, hello.
Yeah.
Sister Willow.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I had to say hi to Sister Willow because we're talking about her.
I just texted her and told her we
Perfect.
were talking about her.
One of the things that I got that was worked for me in this Corbin thing, because I'm actually charging them with that. We have laws called protection or from the elderly exploitation laws or whatever like that, because it's just so common. And it only applies when you're 60 or older. And as punishment for letting some friends that I grew up with who were Jehovah's Witnesses but who left, they invited me out to buy me a dinner for my birthday, since I hadn't had a birthday in
Right.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they sent me a nasty letter, and in it they articulated the great shame, how other people were disturbed by what I was saying. It's going to go great in court because, you know,
It's shame. Like they pass up the Jewish mother immensely. Like they can just give you the guilt to no end. Yes. But and maybe you already know this stuff, but my first interview that I got to interview was William Bowen. And he let me know, hi, Stephanie. He let me know that one of the things that elders will do is encourage, if they want them to separate, because one of them's starting to quote unquote wake up, or they're seeing what's really going on, is they encourage, you know, the one that's not doubting or whatever to leave them for spiritual endangerment, is what it's called within the organization. And they'll encourage them to get a, oh gosh, what is that called? Where you can't come to your own place for like a month or whatever.
Restraining
order. They'll encourage them to get a restraining order against the beginning unbeliever, and then that keeps you out of the house for a while, and then that helps get everything out of the house, and the bank accounts emptied. So they have this routine that they coach people to walk through.
Oh yeah, I know. My wife, my ex-wife did that. I had to live in my house
that's what it sounded
for
like.
6 months while my son was draining my bank account. And I got to watch him do it, and they were all smug about it.
Yeah,
I just
that's
made sure
right.
to keep a record of everything so that, you know.
Good. Because that's what they want. They want you to suffer because you've been bad. You've gone against God and joined the devil, right? It's that kind of thing. Yeah,
Well,
okay. You are aware of that.
Yeah, they can show that Jehovah must not have liked you because you're in the gutter now. You know, it's
exactly.
All, yeah. So
so
I can confirm that, Linda James. That's true. That's policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they do it with.
Excuse me, Linda. Keith came on. I had texted him because we were talking about him. And if we could just interrupt and give our attention to Keith, because the theme is about worldly successes, Keith. And we hear that you're having a success with your
it's all the devil. Don't go to college and get knowledge. It's terrible. Yeah, no, it's quite a paradigm to break for all of us to go to college and to like make money and not just be a window washer. And I'm doing that. I'm at college right now. I only have like 5 minutes. I'm taking a lot of classes, but I'm trying to construct an orchestra, which is an incredibly hard thing to do, believe me. So I'm sticking myself in a room with Bach and Beethoven. And of course, my favorite song, like all the hymns of the Kingdom Melodies, those world-class performers. Um, yeah, so I try not to play those songs because they're all triggers, right, for us. But I have a therapist, which I totally am so grateful I have. So if you're trying to recover, get a therapist and go to college and find out that all of these people are actually quite wonderful. There's a lot of really wonderful people that will help you and are really nice. And yeah, that just getting used to getting out there and putting yourself out there. It's been a new experience for me, and telling my story. And I've got a YouTube channel. It's called Love Always Wins. And I've got an orchestra that I'm building right now. So yeah, I mean, success, what we were taught success was so insane. And look at us, we're out. So whatever we can do, whatever hobby you have, whatever you're able to do what you love, find a passion, find something you love, and find some friends, because there's real people out there that are super cool, and they sail and they make art and they whatever they do, they're really cool people, and you can still live in a pretty great life. You can live an incredible life. And then I'm trying to do that. I have to go to class. I love you guys all so much.
Thank you so much, Keith, for
All right,
coming.
you guys.
Thank
Bye,
you
Keith.
from
Bye.
California. Thank
Yeah, miss you
you.
Bye,
guys.
Keith.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I
And
hope
So
he does.
Stephanie,
I hope he doesn't miss all his heavenly treasures.
oh, there, yeah, check them out on
Yay.
YouTube. Love Always Wins.
Okay.
Beautiful, wonderful music. And Stephanie said she was coming on just as I was texting her.
Oh.
So we were on each other's wavelength.
And so
Yeah.
Stephanie's.
Well,
Yeah, Stephanie's here.
yeah, I logged in and, I pulled up the YouTube and I heard my name and I was like, am I in already?
You're in. You're in.
Yeah. Didn't
Well,
know that. How y'all doing tonight? I didn't realize it was Wednesday already.
Yeah, it is. It goes by fast.
Joe and Fran are on. We got to log in.
So we're talking about worldly successes, Stephanie. Any success stories that you have after coming out?
Still breathing.
That's a success. That's the most important
Still
thing.
alive and 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know we've been struggling to kind of like my daughter's been kind of transitioning her life. She sold her business and trying to remake herself, and so
Stephanie, what I call it, it's recalibrating.
Recalibrating, yeah. That's what I told her.
It really means something. It
Yeah,
really means
a blank canvas, and it's such a beautiful thing, for the young people. They can, you can do whatever you want. You can, when you got nothing holding you back. So I told her, I said, this is your chance. Just dream.
That's right.
Don't think anything's impossible. But I was able to do my first marketing. My daughter, she's an esthetician, but she also teaches classes for permanent makeup. So we're going to try to partner with the beauty schools and have her come in and teach a class separate, kind of like, what's that called when you don't really work for the school? Subcontract.
Yep.
Yeah. So it felt like such an accomplishment to finally go out and market the first school, so we've got, some communication going. So, that feels like a success, even if it doesn't happen, it's still.
It is a success. It is.
It's learning so much and knowing how to navigate the next step.
Yeah, true. And this world is a tough world, and
But that's where all your success is going to be. And that's the reality. See, no one has succeeded in the Watchtower. There will never be any successes in the Watchtower.
Right.
It's all in the world.
Yeah, they say
So,
one door opens, another closes, or whatever.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what a beautiful opportunity we've all
yeah,
had from coming out of
yeah,
the cult. It's a clean slate,
yeah,
totally clean. You know, I mean, you have the entire world to discover.
yeah, yeah.
Everything.
And reserve the right to be surprised, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think for me, like going through the whole COVID thing, the world shutting down, having the time to just look at what the world is and how it operates, and I'd have to say that's a success, like being self-taught, I think that's another success. But
You've had a
sometimes,
Stephanie, I believe
Yes.
you do consultancy with United Nations for awareness, isn't it? I mean, they identified that you've got a lot of knowledge and you've got a lot of experience, and now you are work on a consultancy basis. Is that correct? Do I understand that correct?
myself? Yes, but I'm not actually working with the UN. I do have a group of advocates that I've helped set up, working with the Human Rights Council here in the United States. But I personally haven't made it to the UN level. I'm concentrating on American politics specifically. I mean, the UN I think is very important, but for us coming out of the Jehovah's Witness cult, I believe that American politics is kind of the key to our issues. So, in fact, I'm thankful everybody's here tonight. I told Joe and Fran, 4 of the investigators were over at the house yesterday, and they wanted me to share with the community that things are going very, very well. Very, very well. And they said if they weren't, they would tell us so. But the one thing that they wanted me to communicate to the community is that they're asking for patience.
Of course.
And I kind of laughed at them because I said, patience? I haven't even known you men a full year. Like, and this is moving at lightning speed, whatever's going on. So I'm just in awe, at the speed at what, they're getting things done. But to them, they just said, just tell everyone to be patient. So.
Stephanie, for anyone that's not familiar with what the investigators are doing, can you kind of synopsize?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, as you all know, I'm a survivor from within Watchtower. So, I put together like a campaign. I found private investigators that are willing to put together, all these cases, and we're going to try to have a bunch of individual lawsuits, like my own lawsuit and other survivors coming forward, not just on the SA stuff, but other human right type abuses, especially if those abuses, involved underage children. So we're looking at filing under RICO charges, civil RICO, and then we're also hoping that some of these cases will feed into criminal cases. So in a nutshell, it's, these men that I found to help us, they're like former Green Berets, and, this is what they have done for the government. And now they're doing it in the private sector, and through nonprofits that are working collectively and globally. And the one Matthew, aren't you from South Africa?
Yeah, that's correct. That's where I am.
So the one gentleman that we're working with, he does work in South Africa. Have you heard about the gold mines there? They're pulling all the people out of the mines.
I have an awareness of it.
Okay.
The scope is overwhelming. In fact, even just on the doorstep, Stephanie, it's overwhelming, and I just don't want to necessarily overwhelm the friends here with
what's going on.
All the things that I'm aware of. It's enough when I just say it's terrible.
Yes, and the old spice routes are still in use, right? Russell and Company, East India Company.
Okay, I'm going to commit to this because it was in the chat earlier. Fran and Joe, I'll keep it very, very brief, and I won't expand too much on it. But just to answer you, Stephanie, somebody was bringing up one of the experiences I had. I had to approach Honeydew Police Station in Johannesburg to make a report. And the DWO there unholstered his gun and slid it over to me and said to me, "I've been watching you for some time. You are a target, and it's time that you get used to knowing how to use a weapon like this, because that weapon has saved my life, and you have no idea of the cartel that you have stumbled into here." And yeah, it's immense. It goes all the way from Cape to essentially not just Congo, but to Cairo. It's massive.
Yes, it is. You might want to actually reach out to my boys, because the one works predominantly in South Africa on this issue. So
thank you, Stephanie. Coming from you, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Matthew.
Can I interrupt? I'm sorry. I have Heather on the phone.
Oh, hi, Heather.
Go ahead, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, how are you?
Good to hear you.
It's nice to hear from you guys. I really like and appreciate what you're doing, and you give my mom a place to go where she can talk with people who have been through the same experience as us, sadly.
You want to talk to Stephanie, Heather, because she's working with CSA victims?
Yes, I would actually be interested in talking with Stephanie if it's possible. I was victimized by my father, who was an elder, and a lot of it was done at the church too. And a lot of it bothers me, and I'm now suffering night terrors from it. I have vivid dreams and nightmares. I wake up crying, screaming. I wake myself up. I wake roommates up. I wake my boyfriend up from just whatever I went through as a little girl, reacting in my, I don't know, it's a lot. But I think it's cool what you guys are doing, and
Thank you for your bravery and coming forward. That's the first step. You're not alone. I would love to have a conversation with you and be your advocate. Joe and Fran can get you my number. Okay.
Heather's calling from jail. She's incarcerated right now.
Yeah, I'm incarcerated at the moment. Due to my childhood, I made bad choices as I got older, and I self-medicated, and I'm in prison right now because when you self-medicate, you make wrong decisions, and I'm learning that I have to heal emotionally from my sexual trauma in order to carry on. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep self-medicating with drugs.
I so appreciate your honesty and your bravery and your acknowledgement that is the problem. When we hurt, we end up hurting either ourselves or others. And I'm so sorry that you are troubled and that you had these experiences. Know that you are loved and that you are love, and that nothing that happened to you is your burden to carry. So release it. And we are here to support you however we can. Maybe I could get your address and write to you, if that would be okay.
I think Gail muted, but if Heather's
Yeah,
still
no, we'll do
listening.
everything we can to connect.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry. Go ahead, Heather. I'm sorry. I muted. I forgot. Sorry.
that's
That's
okay.
no, yeah, we'll
I
do
can
everything.
make phone calls from here for free.
Okay.
So I can call out also, but I'm not sure of the exact address. Hold on, let me just look for it real quick.
Heather, we can do this offline.
Yeah.
I can get in touch with Stephanie offline.
Yeah. Yes. Get me the information.
Heather, honey, I can get her. I can talk to Stephanie offline. Okay. Do you want to say anything else to everybody?
Just I appreciate what they're doing, and I think it's beautiful that they're giving people like me a place to go, because not for nothing, I have a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, they're not Jehovah's Witnesses anymore, but they're actually dead. A couple of witnesses that I grew up with, in fact, their own lives because of what happened to them. But my girlfriend Andrea is no longer here, and a couple other people that I love that ended up killing themselves because of what they went through, because of their torture through the church. So I look at it as my voice is here to say for them as well.
You're very brave, and we appreciate you.
Heather, we're so glad that you called, and you can call anytime. If you can continue listening, we'd love for you to listen. We're a community here. We don't judge, and everyone has a voice, and we'd love to hear more from you. And thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you all right, Heather?
It was my mom. Okay. Am I muted?
No, we didn't hear. No, you're not muted.
Well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you support my mom. You've made her grow, and I can see the difference in her and her becoming like her finding herself again, and like the woman my mom was. My mom was always a very strong woman to me, and I've always looked up to her because she's always been a bit of an idol because of her strength and how independent my mother is. Things I don't tell her that I probably should tell her. But you've given her a lot of her strength back, and I see that. I thank you guys for that tremendously.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, Heather.
And we're here for you too, Heather. We're gonna get strong with you.
Heather, one of our listeners was asking, can we write Heather a letter of love and hope? Are you able to accept letters?
Yes, I am. I would love that, actually.
Okay. And we
at 6000 Sheriff's Place, Bourne, Mass.
Heather, I can type it up for you.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with your mom. And Gail.
Heather, honey, I'll take care of it. Okay.
Okay.
Heather, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you for coming on. I really am. I can't tell you how proud I am that you came on, and that you're finally letting it out. I'm glad.
Yeah, I have to, because if not, it's just going to eat me alive. Like,
Yeah, Lisa. Wow. Yes. Heather, you're going to get a lot of letters coming. People want to.
Yeah,
people want to write to you.
Your life's going to change after this, Heather.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I completely agree with it. It's just holding on to it and like letting it make me feel all these feelings that I'm probably wrong for feeling. I shouldn't feel like it was my fault. Like I asked for it. Like I deserve it. You know, it was my father being sick. It was the people at the Kingdom Hall being sick, wanting to, be so proud and like flush things under the rug. It was adults that should have protected me that didn't protect me, and went about things very, very wrong. I need to realize that they're wrong.
Heather, honey, you have to slow down a little because it's hard to understand. Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right, honey.
Miss Heather, can you hear me?
Linda wants to say something, Heather.
Hi, I'm Linda. I'm a friend of Gail's, or Gigi, and I just wanted to tell you, none of that stuff was your fault. None of it. Okay? None of it. It's very common to blame shift in certain cultures, to blame shift, and it was not your fault at all. And everybody here knows that. Okay. You're awesome people.
I appreciate you saying that.
The struggle is real, Heather, and we all understand it.
That's what I
I'm
wanted to
Dinah, by
say.
the way.
I'm like, I feel bad because I ended up with my my father and by the church, which my mother had no idea about. I turned around and acted out when I was with her because she was the parent that I was safe with. And she had to deal with a crazy child and didn't understand why. You know? And I feel bad because of what I put her through.
Wow.
That's the way it goes.
I know.
But you're breaking the chain now, and that's what's important.
That's what's important. What you're
Don't
doing
hold
now.
on to that negativity. It doesn't belong.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Are you okay, Heather?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy just to let people know that, like, there are people that have suffered and, like, we're done. We want to heal. We're done being pushed under the rug like it never happened because it happened. Now, like, the organization needs to own it and make amends and help us and show that, like, they need to fix it. They need to do something with themselves. I mean, I feel like it's a cult. The whole Jehovah's Witness, the whole organization, it's like a cult. The way they brainwash people, the way they influence you, the way they plan into your lives, and then they try to segregate you and keep you from anybody who's not a Jehovah's Witness, because that would even keep you brainwashed.
Right.
Heather, this is Annie. And as a mother, I'd like to reassure you, no matter what has happened in the past, your mother loves you. As a mother, I can guarantee you that. So hang in there, okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Heather, thanks for coming on. And also, please know that for those of us out here who are fighting, it's very important that you keep reminding us of why we got to keep fighting. So thank you for being so courageous.
Yeah, of course. That's sweet.
Oh, someone's saying hi. Hi.
Wow. Hi, Dinah.
Hi, Dinah.
Hi, Andy.
Donna.
Hi,
Heather,
Chloe.
I'm gonna put you on mute and say goodbye. All right.
I think
This is
Gail.
what
hold
breaking
on.
Wait,
the
Gail.
cycle looks like. The joy
I
of
think
the
Dinah
Oh,
Dinah-
Dinah wants to say something. Hold on.
wants to say something. Yeah.
Oh, they just wanted to say hello, and Gabby got the birthday card, and she was super excited, and she wanted to say hi to everybody.
You're welcome, Gabby.
Hi.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
My tiny one. Her name is Chloe.
Hi.
Chloe.
Hi.
And this is breaking the cycle, and that's the joy.
Yeah, it is.
This is the struggle, and this is the joy.
I didn't expect this, everybody, and I just want to thank everybody for supporting my daughter and listening to my daughter. I didn't expect this.
Oh, that was your daughter.
Yes.
Okay. Yay. Oh, yay. I finally got to meet her. Yay.
Yeah, this is Heather. Yes.
Okay. I thought it was a friend, so it's your daughter.
No, it's my daughter.
Even better. Okay.
Heather, can you see us? Heather, can you see everybody? Huh?
No.
You can't see us?
I can't.
Oh, okay.
No. Can you see me?
No, I can only hear you. No.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna
By
say
the one more thing, if I can.
Okay, go ahead,
girl.
Hey, Miss Heather. So my daughter has had to make a visit like yours. Okay, and I get your struggle, and I've learned so much from my daughter, and she's had to, the same thing like you, feeling the consequences of bad decisions because she was under the influence. And I do it in other areas, and wanting to, you were attempting to do a form of self-care, but it ended up backfiring on you, and no shame. You know what I'm saying? have no shame in all of it. Shame only works if you swallow it. So just spit that shit out, okay? Don't swallow it, okay, darling?
Thank you. I like that. Thank you very much.
That's Linda.
Sure.
Heather. That's Linda.
Okay. Bye-bye, sweetheart.
All right, Heather, I'm going to say goodbye to you.
We
all
love
right?
you, Heather.
Love you, Heather.
Thank you.
You-
Everybody's
you-
saying
Love
tonight.
you. I love you too. Heather.
Love you too, Heather. I've already adopted her. Yep.
Naya.
All right, Heather, I'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you, Gail.
So glad
Thank
you
you,
came on,
Gail.
Gail.
Thank you for bringing
sharing.
Heather. You're muted, Gail.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to say goodbye to my daughter.
Okay,
Sorry.
yep, understand. Thank you so much for
So
bringing
glad
her
this-
on.
Oh, I didn't know how everybody was going to feel about it, but she asked me earlier if she could come on tonight.
That's awesome. We love it. Thank you. Gail,
That is awesome.
Here goes now. Well, she can share her story, what she's gone through with her dad, who was an elder, and he remarried, and he hasn't seen her in I don't know how many years. So she wanted to tell everybody what she's been through. As actually, I wasn't raised a Jehovah's Witness, but my daughter Heather was.
Gail, can you and I talk tomorrow?
Of course, yes.
Okay. As early as possible. I'm available. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. I mean,
That's okay.
Yeah, there too.
No, it's a very emotional time. Thank you for bringing her on.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. You know, she's been through a lot. She's 38 years old. She's been in prison a few times. She's almost died on me a few times. Actually, the cat, if you can believe this, saved her life. One of our cats let me know that she wasn't breathing.
Wow.
So, but she's been through an awful lot, but a lot of it she's bad choices. But
her life's going to change.
I hope so.
Absolutely. It already has. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. For her to even come out and talk to strangers, I'm really surprised that she was willing to do that.
It's changed.
She sees the same. I think she.
I've got to get going. I just want to say goodbye. Real quick. I don't want to interrupt.
Well, thank you, Dieter. And you take care now, Dieter. And
we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Yeah,
thanks for your work, Dieter.
look forward to reuniting with you, Dieter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably going to sign off here too.
Thank you
so
much.
Just wanted to come in and say hi for a little bit.
Yes, so glad you did.
Well,
Nice
happy
very, very
Willa,
much.
you came on with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Matthew,
You're the right person to be on at the right time.
oh, thanks, Dallas. I always love seeing you too. You're always so sweet and chipper.
Yes, he is sweet.
I was thanking Heather for joining us.
Wasn't that
by
just
typing? I thought it was the right thing to do, and it was an honor to do.
True.
It is.
Sure.
Gail, I don't know if you can see the comments, but Debbie said, Gail, you are a wonderful mom, a strong woman, and a true friend.
Oh, thank you. That was very sweet. Thank you. That was very sweet.
And,
I do agree.
Susan Gullen said, I am so blessed to be part of a group of wonderful souls. This was a heartwarming show. Thank you, Joe and Fran. You're very welcome. Thank you all for coming on. If anyone else has anything to do, Annie, anything special? We were talking about worldly successes. I know you grew up as a witness and you struggled leaving, and you didn't get an education. But have you noticed any successes in your life?
Well, I think just the fact that I've come out and I'm not really terribly messed up. I'm sure I have my issues like everyone does, but I process things pretty quickly. So I move past them pretty quickly. I've always had a rule: don't stay in a negative place any longer than you have to move out of it. So but I haven't done enormous things in my life. I'm sure at my age I probably won't cure cancer or anything like that, but
Yeah, but
but
you raised a son. You have a wonderful
yes,
son.
I did. Yeah, I'm very proud of my son. He had his problems. I haven't shared this with very many people, but he was a victim of sexual abuse too.
Well, that's too bad.
We went through a horrible year, but he was smarter than me. He said at the age of 7, he realized this organization wasn't anything he wanted to be a part of.
Wow.
So he tried and tried because of me, but it didn't stick. So I'm glad for that now. But it made me very sad for a long time. But look at the benefits now. So yeah. So he's done well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. And I liked recalculating the word that Joe used. I think that's what we kind of have to
It
do
is.
is recalculate once we step outside the org.
Yeah.
You have to start recalculating your life.
Yeah.
And it can take some time, depends on the individual. It can take some time, and you're not always going to get it right. So then you recalculate again.
That's right.
So
that's it.
Yeah, but
That's what the next day is for.
Right. There's life after Watchtower for sure.
That's right.
See, the reason why calculate is so meaningful is because when you calculate, you come up with the answer. You know, I calculated it. I've got the answer. I got the answer. Well, then you find out, oh my goodness, I don't have the answer. I did all that calculating. I don't have the answer. And now you got to do it again.
Right.
And that's a reality. And there are others doing that all the time around us. They're recalculating right around you. And the interesting thing is we can fit into that, helping them helping us. It really works that way. It really does.
Yeah, plenty of worldly success here, Joe.
I'm sorry, Matthew?
I said plenty of worldly success. I'm tying back into the theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the word worldly. I used to not, but now I love it because if you ever look it up in the dictionary, somebody's laughing at me. Good. Okay. So if you ever look it up in the dictionary, it actually says that you're wise and that you're like you've gained wisdom and like traveled and stuff. So you've gained all this wisdom, so and that you're savvy, stuff like that. That's what the real definition of worldly is. The definition we got from the organization was just they're bad associations and we're not them. We the scripture of Jesus was no part of the world. It didn't mean the same thing as getting to know worldly people, and we can choose to remain friends with them or not.
Well, Linda, absolutely. And it is a positive thing. It means you learn so much. It's as if you're well traveled, even if without being that you learn so much about the larger world. So it's positive.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, it is. I had something else I was going to mention, and now I can't think of it, but it'll come to me in a few minutes.
Gail,
I remember.
I was just going to tell you, I texted you.
Don't forget, Linda.
I won't.
What did you say, Fran?
I texted you Stephanie's number.
Oh,
and
thank you.
if you can let us know Heather's address, because there's several that want to connect.
Oh, she'll love that. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead, Linda.
Okay, so when Uncle Joe was talking recalculate. So it reminds me of when, is that the word you used, recalculate?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So what it reminds me of is when we use Google Maps to get somewhere, right? And it's giving us instructions. We turn left on this street and then we turn right on that street. Well, if we miss the off ramp off of some freeway or something, we get to listen to Google Maps, our driving instructions, recalculate.
Yeah. It's true.
and it comes up with a different route to get us where we intended to go, but it turned out to be a different route because we might have missed an exit or something. So that's what it was reminding me of when you said that recalculating. I always like to think that my Google Maps wants to kind of spit at me and tell me off when I catch the wrong exit or something. But no, it's usually very kind. It still talks nice to me and recalculates the directions.
And you know, our ability as humans is to do that. We can do that. And see, the problem is, again, I was not born in. I was taught, you know, we had to figure it out. See, ones who are born in don't have to figure it out. We had to figure it out. We had to, quote unquote, calculate it, do the calculations. The ones born in did not have to do any figuring out. You just listen. You just listen. So now, coming out, they're faced with having to figure it out, and
Right.
you're not used to it. But understand, we're as humans, we're designed to do that. We can do that,
Yes. Yes.
and you absolutely have the help of others, because in so doing and speaking and talking about what you're doing and what you're stumped with, what you're trying to figure out, well, they're trying to figure out things too, and you're gonna give them answers, and they're gonna give you answers, and you're not even gonna know it, and they're not even gonna realize it, all because you're interacting with people in the world. And the more people you interact with, the faster you're going to figure things out. You really are. All your answers are among each other. They are. And we're seeing that happen.
Yeah,
I've always seen it.
we really learn from each other's wisdom and suggestions. Yeah.
If we share it. If we share it.
And yes, and we learn when we watch each other make mistakes and we still support each other. It's like not the it doesn't have to be the whole you're not my friend anymore.
Well, that's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's love of neighbor. That's love of neighbor.
Yes, exactly.
And there's a lot of neighbors. There's a lot of neighbors out there. There's a lot of neighbors out there. There really are.
So, Joe and Fran, how do we measure this worldly success tonight, or on our show? What's the measure that's coming through?
I think it starts with love, and from there, you know, because everyone here has some kind of worldly success.
How about this one way? You know how terrible it is when you feel that you haven't been listened to. He's not listening to me. He doesn't hear me. She doesn't hear me. I don't feel like I've been listened to. And then when you are listened to, my goodness, you've been vindicated. At least someone heard me. I'm real. I'm real to someone else. Just knowing that makes it easier to go to sleep at night. Just knowing that. It's easier to go to sleep at night and look forward to the next day, knowing that someone else and others are going to hear me and know me. Because otherwise, the scariest and the most loneliest thing is going through this world and not being listened to. Just, that's horrible. It's horrible. Horrible. We don't ever want to do that or put anybody through that or be put through that. You can't overestimate the power of that. You can't. You really can't. That's one measure of success, I believe.
Looks like San Diego. San Diego is on
Hi,
Hello,
San
San
Diego.
Diego.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Well,
Good.
hi there, faded Saint Diego. Welcome.
Hey,
We
thank you,
want to
guys. How have you
welcome.
been doing?
San Diego
Well,
had a birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy
well,
Yeah,
birthday.
Happy birthday,
well,
San.
happy birthday.
thank you.
25, is it 25?
Yeah, the big,
Happy birthday, San Diego.
yeah, I turned 49, so
Oh, you're a youngster.
Wow.
yeah.
49. Yeah, you look you look too young for that. You do.
That's what my coaches said. They thought that I was in my early mid 30s when even despite
Nice.
coming off a knee injury a little over a year ago, but they thought I was in my 30s. Like, no, I just haven't. I think even the pizza that I ate up in New York with all of you was kind of like on a rare splurge that I did. But then again, I was prepared for all of that too. So it's like I just balanced everything out. But yeah.
What?
So as far as like, I would say success that this year has been a step in the right direction. Obviously, the meetup that happened back in May when I was up there visiting you all in New York was definitely one. Even the I would say the recent meetup that I had or that I try to have in Carlsbad over the summer, which I would say I call that a successful failure in the sense of maybe nobody showed up, but making forth the effort to try and coordinate something over there, and of course having a backup plan too. I figured if everything fell through, and then even this meetup that unfortunate that I was going to head over to uh, that I was going with Jerron's place or Jerron in Vegas.
Yes.
I know a lot of people here know that I had to pull out of that one because of a family emergency and death. But but that was still, if that didn't happen, I would have been there. So I would call that another successful failure too. But I think the one thing that Joe brought up on is that how, we're all here together as like a community and everything like that. Because even before anybody knew, Joe and Fran, Jerron, and JP were the ones that I messaged shortly. Of course, Jerron and JP, I messaged them, let them know I was pulling out because of what was going on. But it was just kind of a little bit of a different feeling overall because you can tell that everybody cared, and even the comments that I saw, even though I wasn't on the chat after it was announced. And it wasn't one of those, like I remember when a witness relative died, the first thing that they all try to do is like try and yank me on the pioneer list and everything like that. And I remember that one of my former or one of my coworkers whose mother used to be um, in the organization for about a year, but then got disfellowship. This is like decades ago. She was telling me since she found out that I was inactive and faded, that's exactly the same thing, like taking advantage of a situation just to kind of like do more with the organization. So I was still I was still mentally prepared for that one at that time. That was 3 years ago, and when my grandfather died. But yeah, it was a totally different experience this time around. So I think mentally, I'm still kind of like getting over a pretty stressful time, if you want to call it that. The services are happening this Saturday. My cousin told me about it. Ironically, the witness family told me about it too, and the location. But I think I think they suspect something's going on. I probably have said that one. So I think they know that if they were gonna hide it from me like the way they did another quote unquote worldly relative, that I probably would have let them have it for what it was worth and all that stuff, if you want to call it that, or as they say in baseball, get your money's worth when a coach gets ejected by an umpire. But yeah, it was a totally. I think it's just because when you're raised in the organization, you're always hearing the hope of the resurrection. Now that I really know that's not really a fact anymore, or however it is, it's kind of hard to wrap my mind around it. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever felt like this or anything like that. But slowly picking up and moving in the right direction. The gym I go to is having an expo Friday night. Over there, they're having their workouts, and then after that, they're doing like an expo similar to like a street fair where they have a bunch of vendors over there. So I'd say that the community over there, they don't know what happened or anything like that, but they've been it's been a very supportive community. Even the celebrating the 1 year anniversary of not just the gym, but two of the coaches that have been there since day one. They've always spoken up about how positive the community is, and which it is. It's very much like this community up here, and all of those that I met through Joe and Fran's show. All the ones that I know that have come here that are new here that have come and gone, including Steph Woke Up, who's happy to say she's moved on with her life. She's not really doing much activism against the org or anything like that. She's moved on. She's got a boyfriend, everything like that. So haven't met him, but I've seen some of her stories. She's doing great. You know, be nice to see her come on, but I think she's pretty much done as far as like that's just my guess. I'm not sure. I don't think she even acknowledges herself even as a former witness, which I think is a good thing. I know I'll probably get down there sometime sooner or later, and I think realistically the San Diego community is probably all in the same boat, which probably could explain why the meetups haven't happened down here in such a long time too. So, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, you know, I know about the meetup up north with JP and Doreen. Unfortunately, I can't go to that one, but at least it's nice to know there's people around here, people out everywhere. Nothing wrong with making a trip or making another trip to a good place to be with all of you up there. So, you know, it's just one step at a time, and then you keep moving forward from there. It's like don't idle your bicycle, otherwise you're gonna fall to the left
Yeah.
or to the right. You just got to keep moving forward.
I'm gonna use your term here of successful failures, San Diego.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
you never would have learned that success if you didn't make that attempt. And they say our greatest lessons come from our quote unquote failures. So it's not a failure.
Right.
It's a tremendous insight. You know, you've got you've put yourself forward, and you're going to do it again in some way. That's one of the other ways that we have successes. They say we learn our greatest lessons from our quote our failures, what we what we think we failed with. That's what I heard. Sometimes it takes time.
That's right.
In other words, some lessons do take longer to learn.
Mm-hmm.
They do take longer. And they say, with some things, they say experience is something you gain after you needed it the most. You have realizations that, I wish I knew what I know now. And that tells us our future is tomorrow. Our life is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. The next day, that next day. And we have to be there. We have to be there. And in all fairness, it's nice to know that there are other people like you there. We're not alone.
Right.
And that's why I truly feel that, and that's why when we left the organization and found ourselves without all the friends and family that we had, and that others were suffering from the isolation, I realized the only thing we have to do is now we have to help get people pulled back together. We have to come back to each other. And so I'm so thankful that it's happening. And I mean that when I say that your life is going to change after this, because that's what we've seen. Every time we've linked someone to another person and they've connected, they tell us their life has changed. They show us that. It's powerful, very powerful.
Joe, I've heard it said that life is what happens while you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Because
right.
That's true.
each day we just get up and we live that day.
Yeah.
And that's our life, day after day after day.
And you don't want to let someone else figure it out for you.
Right.
You don't. That's the easy way, and it's not your way. It's someone else's way, and you'll end up feeling like I should have done it. I should have figured it out. I could have, and that they say that is our purpose in life, to be who we are, not who someone thinks we should be, not who someone. I mean, a child growing up in a family could fall into that trap. My father wants me to do this. My mother thinks I should do this, so I'm going to work at that. You're not living your life. You're not. You're not. Or my religion directs me with this. My faith, my whatever. Okay, let it be a help. But as I say, and what as always comes to me from others, laying in bed at night in the dark, in the silence, is who you are. So you have to listen. We need to listen. And you can ignore it, but it's you. And you have the opportunity to, do you at that point and to redirect you. But it takes that courage. But just understand, but know that others are doing that too. You're not alone. You won't be alone. You're simply not alone.
I've heard one person speak, and he says, with each experience, the question you should be asking yourself, what did I learn about myself?
Yeah.
With every experience in life, what do we learn about ourselves?
Yeah. What did that tell you about? Yeah. Yeah. Our character is revealed by the difficulties we go through. It's not formed; it's revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Usually alone in the dark, in the silence, is when we can develop our character. That's when we can make a change. When we say, I have to do something. I have to do something. And there's support for that. There's always support for that. But the decision is you are the decision. It's you. And many people are have a certain fear. And unfortunately, so many children are violated in that they're not allowed to do that from youth. A person needs to be allowed, encouraged to figure it out. You figure it out, child. You figure it out. I'll be there. I'll help you. You're not going to be alone. You'll learn. And as opposed to, being directed. And that's what was so unfair with people that were raised in that organization or in any other high control situation.
I'm just texting someone, and the person said I might be helpless, but maybe I can be helpful. I said, you are not helpless. You were told that by someone who doesn't love you.
Yeah.
And
no.
Any of those negative things that we tell ourselves, those are not true.
They're not your friend. Listen to your friends. Don't listen to people that aren't your friends.
Yeah.
Just
anybody that grew up in any kind of cult, high controlled religion, they were told things over and over and over again. They're not true.
Your friend is someone that makes you feel light. They make you feel a little lighter.
Yeah.
Someone that makes you feel heavier. It's not your friend. Not your friend.
Gail, someone in Canada would like her email because Canada's Post is on strike. So if you could send, if she has an email.
No, they're not allowed to have emails. I can give them my you can give them my email address. Do you have it?
I think I have yours. Yep.
Okay, and then
I do. And then you can transfer it. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to thank everybody. It was kind of hard for me to listen to my daughter because some of the stuff I'm just finding out now. And I want to thank everybody for being so gracious to my daughter and welcoming, because she's also, my daughter had her head split open, so she's got a little brain damage, and I've worried sick up and had her head split open. And I worry sick over my daughter, and this time she gets it, because she's kind of like, even though she's 38, she's like 18 instead, like a child. And I'm just very happy that I'm really surprised, to be honest, that she came on the show and was as open with everybody. I'm actually thrilled.
It makes me feel really good, Gail. I truly appreciate that.
I wanted to just add that and I've had a lot of success in my places of employment. I've won a lot of awards, but what I feel more like blessings. I have blessings now. I have blessings. I'm reunited with my children and my great-granddaughter's coming over tomorrow. I'm getting closer to Heather. I'm being, one of the things horrible that they've done to me is I was not very kind to my daughter when she was struggling. They wanted me to shun Heather. No one accepted her. She was mocked, and I was very tough on her sometimes, and I actually sought out therapy because of it. And I think we should have therapy for all the parents who have a child that's been abused sexually or physically. I think they should have support groups for us, because it's not just our child. We go through guilt and, how did this happen? Where was I when this happened? And why didn't I see it? There's a lot of things that go through my head that I struggle with even today. And I try to go past it. But I have an unbelievable support group. I have excellent friends. I have a wonderful family. So I'm very blessed in those ways, but I don't share stuff with my family. I'm more sharing and open on this platform than I am with my family. They really don't know the true me and what I struggle with. I suffer in silence with my friends and family. But here I feel like I'm able to open up. And to me, this is like therapy too. So I'm very thankful.
Well,
I'm really thankful that you shared her with us. Thank you for sharing her with us, Gigi.
Well, you got to thank Heather. She's the one that wanted to come on. I have
Okay.
I had no idea what she was going to say, but
I think Heather is a reflection of you. You're a very strong person, and you're very open. And she surprisingly was quite open.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
and I hope we hear from her some more.
I mean, I've had her. She's been at death's door a few times with me at the emergency room. So you know what that does to a parent? It's terrible. But she's done to herself.
Can't imagine.
I think Ruby has a quick announcement to make.
Okay. About a movie.
No, it's no movie tonight, right, Ruby?
Yeah, that was the announcement I wanted to make. So we moved the movie nights to Friday nights, or even Saturday. I'm open to that as well if anybody wants to join. But I do have a special little request. So for the month of October, spooky season, give me all of your spooky suggestions on Discord. And then for November, give me kind of like thankful movie suggestions, if that even exists. But for December, guys, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays and seasons of the year. So we gotta do Christmas movies until we are sick and tired of them. So I need all the Christmas suggestions on Discord.
I love Home Alone.
I know, I love those.
What time would it be on the movie night? What time does it start on Friday nights?
Well, I could do like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. On the weekends, I usually break night so I can do back-to-back movies if anybody's open to that. Because I know we have like different time zones, but if we have enough interest or people, I don't mind going late at night if it's a Friday night, so 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And I really want classics, guys. If you know any classic movies, I want classic spooky, classic Christmas. I want to, go back in time. And then I want to watch like more modern films, maybe like the remake of something. So for example, we saw Beetlejuice, the original, right? And I know that there's a new Beetlejuice, so I want to see the new one. So that's how I want to kind of have fun with you guys. Kind of watch the old stuff first and then the new stuff. So we can have fun. We can have fun. So if you want to join us on Discord on the weekends, and we're gonna have a fun holiday season this year.
So it's no longer Friday night; it's now on the weekend.
No. Yeah, Friday night is the new night because we used to do it every Wednesday.
That is
night.
weekend.
Friday,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Friday
Thank you.
nights, I need suggestions because I don't really know too much of spooky stuff, but I love it. So I need suggestions, and then if there is like if you want to do a Saturday night, then I'm open to that as well. As long as it's at night, I'm a night owl, and I love to break night on the weekends. So let's
I'm a night owl too. That's why I do my show on Saturday nights, and it'll go like until 2 or 3 in the morning for my time. And I don't want to.
I haven't even watched the show of Linda's.
I would hate to
how many weeks.
miss the movies if I'm committed. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. So Friday.
Yeah, and it'll take a few shows for it to be like for us to get used to the new.
Okay. So Friday night might be best. Yeah, Friday night might be best for everybody.
Let's all remember Friday night, and if that changes, just let us know. Yeah. But Friday night, and let's give some suggestions. I think we got.
Yeah, meet me on Discord, everybody. We have a tab just for movie suggestions. Literally, just put any title there. I look it up, and I'll start booking at least for October, and then we can switch it up.
Do you like true horror stories? Based on
okay, so spooky but not too scary, okay? Because I can't watch
this is not faint-hearted. It's a true story. It's on Netflix right now. It's the Ed Gein story. It's he's a notorious character. He's Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and the what's that guy that dropped everybody? Texas Chainsaw Murder. We're all
charming.
I've heard of that. Okay,
because of this character. He's from
write that down. Write that down for me.
He's being they have the documentary on Netflix.
Wow. Okay.
What he did was horrific, but they based all these movies on this character, and it's a true story back in the 1950s.
Oh wow! Okay, thank you, Gail. I need you on Discord.
it's the Ed Gein story.
Okay.
All right,
Ruby, thank you for doing that. I think we're going to have to call it quits.
Yes,
and I have to thank you all so much for being.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank Heather for coming on.
Well, she'll be calling me tomorrow.
Thank Heather too.
You
What did you say, Dallas?
I thank Heather for being on here. That's just what certain things. One of the things that I was fixing to share.
We're glad.
Thank you, Dallas.
You're all beautiful. Thank you.
I don't know if
what about
said anybody that she was.
You talked about about movies. How about TV shows? Roy Rogers or Lone Ranger, Rex Allen.
I like all those.
Hopalong Cassidy, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans.
How about Rawhide and
Kimosabi?
We
love you all.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thanks.
We've got to remember to keep living our life with love.
Like
and everyone's a neighbor. Everyone's a neighbor. So we got to love them.
We are.
Love you.